Hello and welcome once again to the Forward Compatible Podcast. This is episode 51 for January 27th, 2013. My name's Tony and I'm joined, as always, by my fellow podcasters Jason and Mark.
I just stepped on Tony's foot.
Never mix gummy bears and Coors Light. It's not a good combo.
Skittle bro.
Skittle bro?
Was it in The Simpsons? He went in to buy... He's like, no, you made that up. You bought Skittles and beer and mixed it.
Don't do it with gummy bears.
I don't know what the hell you guys are talking
about. Somebody eat these for me.
We are joined again by one of our favorite guests. Moss is back.
I think I should be deserving, as always, by our fellow guest.
And just have No, you know what I was thinking? I want to actually come up with cool nicknames for you guys for that intro. Be
You've been saying this for a year.
Yeah, but I can't come up with anything. Be like,
that's how unimaginative you are.
I'm joined by Mark the Shark and Jason the Basin.
Hey, his nickname is Skeeter.
Skeeter.
Gonna call him Skeeter.
Skeeter and Scooter.
Oh, man.
The fact that you called me Scooter is ridiculous because that was my childhood nickname.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Scooter?
Yeah, I listen to this other show and he's got an awesome nickname for the guy that gives the news.
Cunt
and
rag?
it's too bad that we can't use it.
Why?
The Dark Knight of News. That's fucking awesome.
The bane of news.
The Bane.
I got to do it in the voice.
I can't even do that voice.
Once I give you the news, you have my permission to die.
You should just give nicknames that don't even make sense. We're joined here by Mossis, but we refer to him as Jerome.
Mark the Wall Painter.
Mark the Wahlbergs. This is my nickname at work. Marky Mark and the Wahlberg.
Oh, Jesus.
It's terrible.
So how's everybody's week been going?
I've been bored. I don't have a job.
Yeah, but that's all being remedied next week, yes?
Kinda, sorta, yeah.
How about you, sir?
I had a game release on Friday that I totally haven't posted the link to because I haven't been home since.
Yeah, remember that? Remember that, fans?
Yeah, I know.
Where
I told
Mark's,
people Friday, and then I actually haven't been home since today.
Mark's all like, "Oh, I'm handing out free games all willy nilly," and then we don't get anything. Mm-hmm. He didn't even give us this stuff.
I know.
Me and Jason have been promised beta codes for months.
Months.
True story.
For months from the game that's only been in development for 2 weeks.
Don't worry about it. No, then we're not talking about the same game, are we?
Oh yeah, that game's coming out later. Yeah. You could beta. You could for that.
Okay.
I don't know if that'll be anything past beta. This thing is actually going to keep getting worked on, but
Fatality.
I guess I'll do.
Are you
brutally
ripping the heads?
massacred,
He's ripping the
gummy
heads
bear.
off gummy bears, screaming fatalities.
I'll probably end up posting that along with the link tonight,
Oh shit!
so you can give it a shot.
How about you, Mouse? How's your week?
I was at the Zelda Symphony concert yesterday in
That's
Milwaukee.
right. You went back for a second helping.
Yeah.
He's placing the heads on his iPad.
And how was
Somebody get him help.
How was this viewing? How was this showing in comparison to the Chicago one?
I think the first time is... it was more of a surprise. It was unique, the feeling and everything. So it was I knew what I was anticipating, I guess. So it was still fun, still great. It was,
Same lineup? Songs?
Virtually. Although in the Chicago showing, we had 3 encores.
Yes.
They played Gerudo Valley, Ballad of the Windfish, and then the Majora's Mask. For whatever reason, Milwaukee did not get Ballad of the Windfish. So
You know why? Because it's Milwaukee.
It's true.
Yes. But yeah.
That's going straight on the Facebook page.
We just took a
Placing
picture
the
of
heads.
Jason ripping heads off gummy bears and putting them on his iPad. If you get a bigger line, I'll replace this picture with the new picture.
I'm working on it.
Well,
I think it should be a work in progress picture.
I suppose we could kick off the show with our weekly roundtable and catch everybody up on what we've been playing since the last time we all spoke.
Oh shit! Every week. Literally, I played this fantastic game called Human. I don't know. It was made by 4 people over the last 2 weeks.
He's trying to get some publicity out there.
Literally. What did I play?
I tried to whore us too. If the news showed up to interview him about his release, I was like, "Don't forget to mention us."
Oh yeah, he said that. Literally, they ended up not showing.
Mark's just sitting there
Yeah.
on Channel 2 News with his arms in the air flailing around. Forward compatible for life!
I was thinking, how can I work that in to a news segment?
Oh man, that's good
We ended
stuff.
up having news didn't come. I don't know, somebody died or burnt or something. Something violent related more than likely, so it didn't show up. But we actually had a ton of indie game developers come out, and we're checking out our stuff. So with that, I actually believe I'm now getting free passes to GDC because our game I'll just say it now. Our game ended up turning out the best out of all of them. So, I probably have some free JDC passes coming.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Where's that out? Is that out in Cali?
Yeah, San Francisco.
San Francisco.
Yeah, that's really far. Or else I'd
Tag along.
Yeah, bring me. Give me a
He's
ticket.
gonna go try to meet Cliffy.
Pretend I'm in your
Gosh,
team.
just go hump Cliffy's leg. I know he's been on the news a lot this week. He's got something. He's working on something devious.
Yeah.
Literally, I played Far Cry 3 at some point this week.
He just doesn't remember when.
Yeah, I've just been absolutely blasted with work. So, I don't remember. We're taking more pictures of gummy bear heads. It's now almost completed.
Jason.
It's almost as good as the Statue of Liberty at this point.
What'd you play, good sir?
I did a very lot, a ton of WWE. Very lot. That didn't
Vary
very
the colors
lot.
more. There's two red cuts.
My name Jason. I can't talk to today.
No, I'm busy. I'm busy. Come back to me. No.
You got to redo this. There's two reds touching.
You know, the gummy bears are too close together on the right side.
I know, he didn't spread them out.
Yeah, the spacing's
I mean,
atrocious.
is he an architect?
You'd
or
make a
something?
terrible bricklayer.
Yeah.
Listen, it doesn't matter. I'll replace that one.
There's too many orange. There's just too much orange now.
That's what's in the bag.
It's just messing with my head. There's just too much orange.
Um,
Replace the green. Replace the reds because they don't blend.
I did a lot of WWE 13. Did a ton of the universe mode. Played with a couple of friends. What else did I do? I did Retro City Rampage last night with my cousins. They're horrible at that game. It was hilarious watching them fail. And then I played a game on my iPad called Plague Inc.
Oh, I got that too this week.
Yeah?
Actually, yeah. I clicked it and I started it, but I never actually did anything. So
It's awesome.
Really?
The goal is to infect the world with different viruses
It's
and plagues and
Pandemic
stuff
2, if you've ever played that Flash game, but on your phone. That's
And
exactly what it
like
is.
that. Zombies are not available yet. They're coming in an update next month.
Yep.
That's it for me.
It's a heck of a lot more than I've played. I basically haven't done anything this week other than just some stuff related to Zelda stuff or various projects I'm working on. I'm actually condensing a lot of my video game collection, so no longer have my 360 anymore or my PS Triple.
PS3.
You got rid of the PS3 too?
Yeah.
Fucking
Just ran in a room.
Well, condensing my video game
Did
collection.
you play all the Uncharted's?
No. Well, sort of.
Sort of.
Yeah,
Picked them up at
played
least?
No, I played him with my buddy when he was going through them initially. So I saw fragments of them.
Okay.
Although missing several hours in between playthroughs sometimes.
Yeah.
Not exactly the full experience, but
Yeah.
I kind of want to do those anyway. Just thinking.
Uncharted's.
Yeah.
Should do that. Infamous.
I'd
is
have
fun.
to. I'd have to break each game. Each game, if I do it on normal, is about 10 hours. So I'd have to do it in 2 sittings.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I can stream by myself for longer than 5 hours. That's rough.
I have trouble more than 2 hours streaming.
That's what I'm saying.
You're gonna end up like that guy on the internet who
I
who
do
was
20
streaming.
minutes.
He was streaming and then he thought he turned his webcam off and started masturbating.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, that was great. Yeah, true story.
As for my, were you done?
Yep.
As for myself, I was really Sonying it up this week.
Is that a word?
Sonying it. So a lot of Sony.
I don't know. He ditched me this week. I was like, "Hey, let's play something." He's like, "Sure." I'm like, "I'll be on at 10." He never came on.
I was drinking, good sir. I wasn't home
Masturbating
yet.
on a webcam,
I wasn't home
apparently.
yet. Then when I did get home, both of you guys were off by 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's what a phone's for.
She could have called.
Anyway, so I played a bunch of Sly Cooper. I'm working on the triple platinum on that game before the Sly Cooper 4 comes out in February, which I'm totally going to miss because I only got a week and a half before the release, and I'm still almost finished with the first game. That's it. Yeah, that's about it. Oh, I did Terminator Salvation. That game did not age well.
No, it didn't. It didn't. I played it years ago and it didn't age well.
When it was new.
When it was new.
It was brand new. It was already poorly aged.
No, literally, I picked that up to get the
But
trophies on PS3.
Yeah, it was like a 5-hour game. I tore
Yeah.
through it. It was just kind of like whatever.
It just sounds awful. A
You don't really
licensed game
fight
based
many
off a movie.
things. Like, literally, like, you have a few enemies, and then there's certain enemies you can't kill.
There's 3 enemies in the whole game.
Yeah.
There's
And certain ones-
T600s, T800s.
no, there's like the Terminator, the robotic with the turret.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
a 600, I believe.
Okay. There's
The flying fuckers.
the flying
The flying fuckers.
yeah, and then there's the mini tanks.
They look
The
like little
that you can-
crabs that you can only shoot in the back. Yeah. Those are the annoying ones. Because you can
That's
only
a-
kill them one way.
There's
It's like,
three-
please
there's
don't
three-
look at me, please don't look at me, please don't look at me. Yeah, she's not looking, shoot.
Yeah. It was very poorly thought out.
Yeah,
and
the game was awful.
pretty
Easy
poor game all
platinum.
around.
Easy platinum.
I got the platinum on her.
Whore.
Oh.
You can't David Letterman that. He's
about
David
it.
Letterman the gummy bag bear bag. I guess.
Nobody could talk today, apparently.
No!
Go ahead, sir. Let's kick it off with some news.
It is. Alright, coolio. So we're starting off with, I actually have two stories from last week because I let Tony write it last week, so we missed good stuff. We have Splinter Cell is actually pushed back to August 20th with a collector's edition announced and actually a new, a new trailer. So that's kind of cool.
Haha, Andy. No
the-
Splinter Cell for you.
From the Splinter Cell Collector's Edition, they're actually doing it's $170. It's an RC plane that looks kind of cool, along with like 2 new maps and other stuff.
We need to get that one so we can buzz the pigeons.
Do it.
When was Splinter Cell originally going to come out?
It was supposed to come out March
Well,
5th.
For their-
No, April 1st. April 1st was the street-dated release date in GameStop system.
that seemed like a good idea to delay that because there's just way too much coming out in the next few
Yeah.
weeks. Splinter Cell would probably get overlooked.
Yeah.
So,
And it was funny because, of course, everyone thought, hey, they're bringing Michael Ironside back, and no, they're not doing that.
I mean, do you guys know of a single game that's coming out post-June? Post-May?
Nope.
Yeah.
Anything big? That's not next gen. That hasn't been a release date announced.
I mean, the only
Rainbow
stuff,
Six
the only stuff
potentially.
that they're not scared to announce is the stuff that's clearly coming on both generations.
Right,
like
like Last of
like
Us or
sporting
something.
games. No, like Madden is
Yeah,
already
Madden's
announced.
announced.
I'm talking
That's
about big
August.
stuff that's actually interesting.
Rainbow Six, maybe.
I was gonna say this
year.
big stuff. It's not interesting.
Rainbow
Right on
Six
that.
is not coming out this year.
They said maybe this year.
No,
Like I
lies.
said, stuff that's interesting.
That game's interesting.
Well,
Okay, we're taking one last one of the completed.
Yeah, I want to
Gummy bear
eat
collection.
my severed heads.
The fuck is
Eating
it?
severed
I'm sorry,
heads?
please
That's just
continue.
not right.
Yeah.
Just
All right.
well,
So-
I mean, maybe it'll be like the last hurrah of a game before next gen.
Potentially.
so
There's just heads everywhere, dude. It's ridiculous. Past that, another story that the Tonys missed last week, which was one of the stories I
I didn't miss
covered
any
for, like,
good stories.
Yeah. Anything important?
Who gives a fuck about
All right.
Splinter Cell planes? Or
the delay.
it's a delay. I thought you were talking about that stupid plane. Then
No, let's do it plain at whatever. The next one, the Arma 3 developers are finally freed after 128 days in jail after posting a $5,000 euro bail. And Matt's just called a flying head. That's a great way to, transition to that story. But anywho, good
so
for them.
those dudes, they were in Greece, right?
Yeah, Greece, they were captured and held, saying they were terrorists, basically. So, anywho, I'm glad they got out. I have no idea. They haven't had any stories if they're back to work or what the hell they're doing. Anywho, 4 months in jail for making a game. Crap. Anywho, on to this week's stories.
Yeah, I didn't care. I don't know. We covered that like at great lengths.
Yeah,
back.
well,
What's
everyone
happening?
covered that.
So they're back in the States now?
No, they're not. They're not U.S. The Arma 3 developers are from Poland, Bohemia Interactive. Is it Poland? One of those countries over there. I don't think it's Poland anymore. But anyway, they're over there.
Change their
So
name.
that's typical American shit. Just I don't know, somewhere in fucking Europe. Who knows? It's all the same.
America.
America.
Not like towards the coast of either continent. I don't know.
It's not quite Russia, but it's not.
It's not
quite,
quite.
it's one of those.
It's not
others.
like
I don't know.
London. So yeah. We're gonna move on from there. Proving my
I
American
apologize
ignorance.
if we have any actual European
Yeah, well,
listeners.
we used to have like people from what, like Finland.
You apologize for them?
No, I'm apologizing to them.
Oh, okay. We used to have listeners from was it, like Finland or
we
Sweden
had a
or
couple
something?
from South America.
Oh yeah,
I don't know if they're
I know
still
where
with
you're
us.
at. You're right below me.
You're right over there.
Right over
Just
there.
go down.
Just go down. Just fly south. Follow the birds in the wintertime. You'll find it. All right, moving on. This was our top of the week from last week. Disney Infinite confirmed this week that it's actually going to be a yearly release with already on-disc DLC.
Good for them.
Yeah. I mean, what I hope they're doing is...
Wow.
What I hope they're doing, because this is what Skylanders does too, is that they have on-disc DLC as well. Then you have to buy the the pirate pack and the whatever undead.
That's exactly
world.
what it is. The shit's all on the disc, but you have to buy little figurines
Just
to
unlock
parts of the game.
And the worlds.
Yeah.
But what's cool about those things is literally you have one friend buy one of them, you place it on there, and it's unlocked forever. Because that's what we did for Skylanders.
The one thing that sucks about this Disney thing is that now people are gonna right away figure out what as soon as the game releases, somebody's gonna hack into the disc and figure out all the stuff that's coming out in the calendar year because it's already on the disc. So there's not gonna be the big surprises of this November we are releasing these new figurines or whatever.
Yeah.
Well,
Skylanders didn't do that either.
Skylanders,
though.
it was just dark, right? You could see the world
Yeah.
You'd literally hit an invisible wall where you could see it black and white.
Is that what it was?
And if you didn't have the character, it wouldn't allow you to walk past the invisible wall. That's what I remember in my head because I think I was watching Mikey play it.
Okay, because I never went to the place to go, to actually get to the world. Because basically, once I put it on the platform, it's like, hey, would you want to go here? Or it showed you exactly where it was. I don't remember. And then you went there, and that was it. So I never saw the black.
That'd be the smart place to gang up with 3 or 4 people that all want this and only buy a quarter of the pieces. Just kind of rotate them.
So me, Joe, and somebody else did. I forget who else bought it.
Was it Mikey?
Might have been Mikey.
That's what I remember.
Might have been Mikey.
I remember.
Yeah, probably.
A lot of people are still going to buy the collectibles.
Yeah.
Just because they're collectibles.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I don't even care about the game, but I might be interested in the collectibles.
There's 3 or 4 of them I want already. I saw a couple of them. They look fucking badass.
Yeah.
I want the Nightmare Before Christmas ones.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're going to go a little nuts on the comic book ones, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
A lot of people are probably going to buy them and not even open them. Just leave them in the box.
See, this would be so cool if it wasn't very, very centered toward kids, because this could be a really badass. If it was some kind of open world game where you, almost like an MMO where you can go buy your thing and that'd be pretty sweet. Hey, I'm really into pirates. I want to be Jack Sparrow and I want to go kick the shit out of Iron Man. That's cool. You know what I mean?
The other cool thing with it being a collectible that I found was that you could do with them is you could actually, without opening the package, scan the figure in.
Oh, you can?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, I just thought that was going to be a problem. So
No, you can
just
manipulate.
keep returning them.
Well, if you don't want to open it, you want to keep it as a collectible.
Yeah.
You don't have to buy 2 to play with one. You can actually.
So
scan
there's
it on
actually
the page.
blatantly the barcode on the the bottom of it or
Isn't
something.
it just some kind of magnet?
It's it's a
that
little
is
magnet thing, yeah.
Computerized magnet that tells it what to unlock.
But doesn't that character have to be on the stand the whole time though?
But you can.
That's to put
kind
him in
of
the game, not to
yeah.
unlock his area.
But I'm saying, if you want to play as him, let's say it's Jack Sparrow, and you don't want to open it because he's a rare or something, you can manipulate the package on the stand so he'll scan in, and you can play as him without taking him out of the package.
Interesting.
Because I could already tell you the Star Wars ones will be worth the most.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
That and the really old school Disney characters
Yeah,
from 1920s.
those are just highly collectible as is anyway.
So,
I agree.
fucking A.
Cool. Next sexy story. The Last of Us is actually getting a demo and will be included to anyone who buys God of War Ascension.
Yep. Which I will be.
I was going to say, who's going to be buying God of War?
I was gonna get God of War Ascension. This has no. I am getting The Last of Us. This has
Is cool add-on to you at least?
no, because I don't. I'm not a big beta guy anyway. I'm not a big I jump in them. I got invited to the God of War Ascension beta. I played it for 20 minutes. It seems really cool, really novel.
You don't want to
fun way to throw in multiplayer. I'm not one of those guys that's going to sit there. I want to play something that's finalized. I jumped in. I got the avatar item for joining the beta.
Yeah.
I'm done. I don't need to sit.
Everyone did that as well.
There's thousands of other people running in the beta that actually care a lot more. That are I'm not buying this next God of War for the multiplayer. It's fun. It's a little distraction. I'm buying it for the story. I want to see what happens to Kratos before everything else happens. So.
When is Last of Us
Spoilers,
coming?
there'll be sex.
Last of Us is
No release date.
May. June.
There is a release date.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like
end of
the
May.
absolute. It's the absolute last PS3 game to come out, besides split ones that'll come out on PS3 and
Well, how about
PS4.
Beyond? That doesn't have a release date yet.
Beyond Two Souls? That's
No. Well, yeah, it is Beyond Two
What about
Souls.
Last Guardian?
Beyond
I'm
Two
thinking,
Souls.
I was thinking
Yeah, right, 'cause that's how we're
That
come
will be
out.
the last one.
No, Beyond Two Souls is a PS3 game too. I think.
I know, but that doesn't have. That's far off. I thought that might be.
No, I think
I
that's.
don't-
I think
is
that's
that this year?
I think that's June, isn't it? That's
don't
that's from Quantic Dream.
You're right,
They
yeah.
came
I
out
don't
and
think that's
said-
got a date.
Jason's looking it up real quick.
Pretty sure that's not a date.
I don't think they have a street date for it yet.
Really?
I don't think so.
I think
Okay.
that'll be.
Then that might be the last one that comes out.
Possibly.
See, we talked about this last week
Yeah.
on the way home. There's not going to be no last one. It's not going to be like the Wii or something where, all right, no more games.
I didn't mean it that way, especially on PS3. I meant the last one that's strictly a PS3 game, because I think after
I
a
don't-
while,
I-
they'll be PS3/PS4. They'll be releasing on both systems.
Well, I think that the release on both systems will be almost like a facade, where it's just a PS3 game.
Yeah.
But they're
It
going to
runs-
release it
yeah.
in the PS4 package.
Yeah.
No difference in the
Yeah,
game.
yeah, I agree.
Just to say that it's
Yeah.
for a PS4, but you can get on the PS3 and it'll be the exact same experience.
Do we not?
Yeah. There is no release date for it.
Well, there you have it. So,
There was originally one leaked in November. It went up on the Sony website. They pulled it down, said it was an error, that the game is just going into alpha.
I'm saying 2014. for
It
Beyond
says
Two.
it says 2013, but that's it.
so it might get delayed then, yeah.
I'd actually say November as well, because when you go into alpha, November is about the release date. It should be for that.
I wouldn't see them missing.
I think they're saying it's going into alpha for people who don't know development cycles.
Yeah, originally it was listed as May 25th.
'Cause
That's
alpha
what I was
should-
thinking.
Yeah, it is not.
Maybe they pushed it back then for because they don't have much coming for the winter. Maybe.
Well, the big error is also May 25th is a Saturday.
yeah,
so-
that should be a big tip.
Clearly a placeholder.
Indeed.
All right.
I said
So that was a good Last of Us conversation.
Yeah, we didn't talk about it at all. That game looks awesome. I don't
Yeah.
care.
No, it's going to be cool.
I cannot wait for that game.
So this next story, I'm aiming directly at Jason.
Jason?
The rumor is that Take-Two is going to be getting the WWE license. What do you think about it?
WWE 2K14. Wrestlers sweat even more now.
With highly glossed
Look, you can
model.
see the holes in their boots. Their whatever.
As long as
See their package better.
I mean, I've played 2K's sports games and
Yeah, they
stuff
do
like
a
that.
good job.
They do a good job. They do really good with the presentation.
Definitely.
As long as they kind of take the example that THQ did with this last WWE game and build upon it, I think it'll be fine.
I think you're better suited with them going to 2K than it could have been because
It was talking to EA.
EA would have ruined it.
EA's had
would've-
wrestling games before.
But they would have fully EA fully takes over development cycles and does it the way they want, and they should because EA is putting a lot of money into it, and they want to make sure they're going to get the product they want. Activision did the exact same thing. They would have came in and just ruined it. They won't let the guys that have a winning formula use their winning formula. They're going to want it to go the way they want. With 2K, I think you're going to be a little bit more where they'll just let those guys use their formula for success, and they're just going to sponsor them and put the 2K label and make money and laugh all the way to the bank.
Yeah,
So-
I think it'll be good.
I think 2K was a win. It could have went a lot worse.
Yeah. Well, like I said, EA previously held the rights to WCW.
Those sucked.
In
didn't they?
the late '90s, early 2000s, there was the last one. I believe was
WCW versus NWO?
No, that was THQ.
Oh,
That
okay.
that was Aki. That was like one of the last good
remember
ones.
him.
No, it was WCW Backstage Brawl. So you didn't
Oh,
fight
yeah.
in the ring at all. That's how bad that game was.
That was the PlayStation version, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think,
So-
I think they made WCW Nitro as well.
They did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But
That was a racing one.
no, that was the WWE race.
I know the W. I thought Nitro had for some reason racing. It.
No,
I'm
but I
confused
mean,
with
I
that one.
think 2K will do good with it. They won't mess it up.
I was very surprised that the WWE license was not a part of that auction sale.
I think there was some factors that we don't know about.
There was too much. There was too much bullshit. That's why I think a lot of people. I know we're going to talk about this in a little bit about all the studios, but that's why I think Darksiders didn't go anywhere yet either. I think there's certain red tape around a few of these IPs that it's not like they're not going to get sold. They just didn't get figured out at the initial auction.
What I do know is when WWE re-signed with THQ.
There's that big problem with Vince McMahon.
The year before.
Yeah.
If anything ever happened to THQ, the rights defaulted back to WWE, so it was an outside deal.
Which is why people didn't want
Yeah.
to touch it. There was problems with surrounding South Park too.
Mm-hmm.
I know
Yeah,
that one
I
eventually
was gonna
ended
talk
up.
about that later,
That's what
too.
I'm saying. Yeah, we'll get to it later. But that's what I'm saying. Some of these had red tape and shit around them that made people a little bit more cautious.
Yeah.
They'll get sold. They're just it wasn't at that initial offering.
Yeah.
So
Coolio. So, number 6 sexy, dirty news story of the week is Sony was fined $250,000 by the UK Informational Commissioner's Office for its part in the 2011 PlayStation Network breach for putting customers at unnecessary risk.
this is the biggest bunch of bullshit I've ever heard in my life. Okay. Granted, that's pocket change for a company the size of Sony, but like they got hacked. They lost millions of dollars during this. And people are like, "Oh, we're going to fine
Ruin
you."
their reputation
We're
for
gonna
quite a bit.
fine you for this, and it's been proven over and over and over. Nobody's shit got like
Yeah, I know.
nothing.
That's what I
Nothing
was talking
detrimental
about.
happened to anyone. So now it's just people gouging at a big business trying to get money. At this point, it's just like I don't know. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that's why I brought
This
it up
one
because
pissed
like
me
it
off.
was
when
just
I
like,
saw this, I'm like, really?
yeah.
Like Sony didn't get embarrassed enough, and that like they didn't already get their ass kicked. All the money they lost off PlayStation Network,
Yeah,
people
they did
trading
more.
in their PS3s and leaving for Xboxes.
Yeah.
They got screwed on this. They don't need this too.
Yeah.
And you just bring like people are just starting to forget, and you're like, bam. Let's bring some
Front
shit
page
up.
news.
Let's bring some shit
I
up.
will have you know that I purchased my PlayStation during that time.
Really?
Yeah.
You crazy?
That's when I had the $100 off coupon. They were trying to move
Yeah.
units.
Yeah.
So that's when I bought mine. I was like, $200 Blu-ray player, no problem.
Yeah.
I got this.
Now you can buy them for $60. How do you feel now?
Mine's like brand new. I think I've played 4 games on it. I own 1 game. It's Back to the Future.
Nice.
And that's just because it didn't come out on Xbox. I sold Twisted Metal. Ha!
Still had it.
Huh?
Still had it.
Face.
Alrighty. So I'm going to go to one of my last stories here. Gears of War 1 is actually going to be included with the launch copies of Gears of War Judgment. The reason this is they actually look back. About 50% of the people who have Gears of War 3 right now have actually never played Gears of War 1. So with that, they're going to give away the first one for free.
Smart move.
Everybody jumped in at Gears 2.
Yeah. That's where I jumped in.
Everybody
And
jumped
I mean,
in.
I'm
Poser.
well, no, like look at all the Gears crap that I have. But I jumped in at 2, played 2, and then went back and played 1.
I jumped in
afterwards.
at 2, and then I went and bought Gears one for $10.
What
because
flipping me off for? What?
I did one.
Nobody
I'm the-
cares if
I'm-
you did 1.
Me and Andy are the only ones who did 1, and then worked our way up the way we should have. High five, Andy.
The thing I don't understand how so few people played 1 because 1
Because
and
it came out.
2
It came out in 2006 before anyone was had it. Like there wasn't enough units sold of 360 in 2006. It was just there was very few units out there, so people were just like, meh.
But if you look at the sales now, Gears 1 and 2 sold fairly comparable to one another. It was not like there was this gigantic leap in
I think
sales.
2 sold a lot.
No,
more.
2 sold more. I don't know how much number-wise, but 2 sold a lot better.
I think they both sold about 5 to 6 million. I'm
It could be.
fairly
Yeah.
confident about that one.
Maybe I don't know. I don't know. That's decent numbers for a
I'm not-
first
I'm
party
not even
for a first
willing-
party game.
I'm not even willing to say that Gears 2 sold more. I'm not even sure about that.
Let's check.
Yeah. I think Gears 1 sold like 3 or 4 million and then added on sales like when they released the greatest hits version.
That could be the thing too, because I know there's a couple packs that came out. Then there was the like before they had Game of the Year, it was like the equivalent of Game of the Year, where they didn't call it Game of the Year, but they threw in all the map packs. I don't remember what it was called. No, but everybody's looking at me like I'm fucking crazy.
No, I know exactly what you
I
mean.
promise
Yeah,
it happened. And then,
I don't know.
then it's weird to count sales because then you got that other thing that came out where it was Gears 1, Gears 2, and all the DLC that all got thrown in with it as well, and that was another repackaging of it.
As of 2008, which I guess one of the last times they counted, Gears 1 was about 5.8 million, but like a year before that, they were just hitting 3 million. So like they sold well after the game actually came out. It looks like.
Gears 1 did?
Yeah, they were about 3 million after 1 year, and then they were at nearly 6 after another year after that.
That's a rarity for Xbox games not named like Call of Duty
Right.
for them to sell beyond the first 6 months.
It's because
What?
the popularity in the franchise increased after the first one.
Right.
So there was more exposure. That's when you started getting the commercials and all the cross promotion that they did with the
And
series.
it's like I said, when Gears 1 came out, the install base wasn't really that big for Xbox.
No.
That was 2007, right?
2006, I think it came out.
Yeah, 6,
'Cause it was
8, and
Right. It came out, I believe, the same time as the Wii and the PS3 came out. No, I think right at the same time.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, so even if you had a decent percentage of attach rate, you still weren't selling to the market you had when Gears 2 came out, or even more so when Gears 3 came out. Gears 3 was huge, right? That killed Gears 1 and 2?
No, I don't think so. I actually think that's in last place of the three because it's still fairly new. It hasn't had that longevity.
I don't know. I mean, Gears...
I don't think Gear Judgment's going to do that well. I think that'll be around the 3-4 million units.
It's because it's the end of the generation,
and it came out way too quick because Gear fans are used to them coming out every 2-3 years, not 11 and 12 months later.
Well, it came out 2006, 2008, and
it's actually about a year and a half.
Yeah,
from the release of Gears 3.
Yeah, but you're also probably less than a year away from Gears 4 releasing on the.
I'm just saying, like timetable wise.
I mean, that's clearly what Epic's doing.
Gears 3 should have been 2010, but it was actually 2011.
Yeah, they delayed it. Yeah.
So basically, from these charts, Gears 1 and 2 combined for about 6 million each, and 3 hit about 7. Because they just hit 17 million sales.
How can that be? We just saw on Wikipedia as of 2008 that Gears 1 did 5.8 million.
5.88. Now they're at about 5.9. That was in.
But you just said 1 and 2 combined did 6.
6 each.
6 each or something.
6
Yeah,
each.
so they had about 6 each.
Okay.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, we don't even offer Gears 1 brand new anymore, so I don't even know where you'd buy it. The numbers had to eventually stop. Yep. You know what I mean? You're only buying pre-owned at this point.
There might be a lot of digital downloads for it, which are untrackable by
possibly.
most
As of November...
They don't have to release those numbers. That's the thing. Yeah.
They have no incentive to either.
Yeah. As of November 7th of last year, the entire franchise is at 19 million.
Good for them.
Yeah. And it's hard to find numbers.
I'm 3 of those 19 million.
Me too.
5.
I'm 1. I actually bought Gears.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I actually bought the Gears.
Yeah, because I have 1, 2, 3, the collector's edition of 3, and then I have the collector's edition of 1 and the collector's edition of 2.
It's your 6.
No, because I only have one version of 3.
Okay.
I went back and found the collectors for 1 and 2.
Got you. I just got the regular edition of all 3.
Ah!
How dare you?
Suck, Tony.
I got Gears boxers. Now what?
Oh, he showed you up something fierce.
Yeah. Got COG tags. Take that.
All right, what else we got?
Yeah, they sold about Gears 2 sold about 500,000 more units than Gears 1.
That's ridiculously close.
Yeah.
Good for them.
I guess maybe that's the market they're going for with this whole. A lot of people didn't play Part 1.
Actually, Gears 2 is actually the better selling one. One sec. According to VG charts, Gears
that's not accurate, though.
isn't okay because they say that Gears 3 only sold about 700. So they're
Damn
actually
numbers.
like no. I was trying to. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm quickly losing. Like, who gives a shit?
Yeah. Anyhow, that's what they say. All right, cool. We're going to number 1 news story because I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
My number 1 story of the week is THQ. Their sale and auction took place this week. So I was going to go down the list of the actual games that got sold and who just lost out on them. So are
you listening real quick? Or are we going to go one at a time and talk?
We'll go one at a time and talk. We'll start off with. Should we start off with the highest sale?
By all means.
All right.
Sega, right?
Yeah, the highest selling franchise was actually Company of Heroes. ZeniMax, who actually came in second place, were offering $26 million. Oh my god, so bad with numbers. $26.3 million to get the franchise. Sega actually beat them out with $26.6 million to actually get the franchise. A lot of the belief of why it went for so much is that they actually have a game coming out in the next 2 months basically now, so they actually got more money just for the fact that they would be making that back right away.
Sega's gonna break even within the first year. This was a very good investment because they got. I mean, Company of Heroes is clearly the.
It's one of the highest selling.
It's the showcase piece of what they bought this for because it's called Relic, right?
Yeah, Relic Entertainment.
But I don't remember because I haven't read this in so long. But they have another game coming out that's not as big.
Well, they do that in Warhammer.
Is it the Warhammer one?
Probably.
And one of those installments is coming out relatively soon as well. Mm-hmm. Where, as long as... I mean, Company Heroes 2 should probably make their money back. But
yeah, they're already over 1 million sales in pre-order on Steam. So
that's what I'm saying. So I mean, Sega should probably get their money back within a year.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, and then everything after that's profit.
Yeah.
So
they
were the big spenders.
Mm-hmm.
So
And Sega's in very good shape too. We have sort of like a negative view, or at least I think the industry has a negative view of Sega, given that they're like fall from grace in the hardware department. But they actually do very well.
They are a software powerhouse.
Right, yeah.
If you look on Steam, they sponsor and publish so much.
Mm.
They're not making the games like they just even on the digital like side of things. Like we'll goof around about it and stuff. Like Sonic still brings in killer numbers.
it
I read
does,
the shit like throughout all the digital platforms through PSN and Xbox Live and the eShop and Steam. They're still doing gangbusters on Sonic 1, Sonic 2, Nights into Dreams, all the stuff. I can't even think of like Golden Axe and shit. Those things are still iPhone. They're selling like crazy.
They own Bayonetta too.
Yeah.
So.
Now they're getting an exclusive through Nintendo with Bayonetta 2. Yeah. I mean they're
Sega.
They're doing killer. But Sony gave them an ass load of money because they were giving some of their shit away on PlayStation Plus. You know they're raking it in.
I like seeing Sega do well.
Yeah.
It feels like nostalgic a little bit.
Yeah, it was sad when they hit that rough patch, but yeah, they're doing okay now. So
sweet. So next studio up, we have THQ Montreal, who currently they have 2 games in development. One being 1666, and the other one being Underdog. I know we talked about 1666 a while back. It's London Fire. So that is one of the games coming out, and they actually had no runner-up in this instance, but Ubisoft bought them for $2.5 million.
that's cheap.
That is cheap. It's 2 games, no gameplay has come out of them. They're just stuff coming out, so
Sorry.
I heard that team is going to be like sort of merged in with the Ubisoft Montreal team, because I think the Ubisoft Montreal team is the guys that make the Assassin's games. I want to say Ubisoft.
Yeah, which is why they were interested in this.
Right. Yeah, that's what I heard.
Because they're going to kill it. They're like, no
What did you just say?
Ubisoft Montreal, like they were gonna like mix the teams.
Oh
together.
yeah, because they are very close up there. Anyway, the next studio, which this is actually one I don't know, Evolve. Their title, like they have a title in development that they didn't really release, and it's at Turtle Rock Studios. They actually brought in almost $11 million from Take-Two, and the backup, which actually Turtle Rock Studios, the ones making it, they were trying to buy themselves out.
Yeah.
But then they got blown away by, I don't even know why did Take-Two buy it for almost $11 million when the lowest bidder was at $250,000?
Well, wasn't Turtle Rock the ones that did Left 4 Dead? Didn't they originally make Left 4 Dead? I think.
Looking for it right now.
I'm
pulling up the Wikipedia, but by all means, continue.
Turtle Rock? Let's see, who we got?
I think they did.
They might have, because I actually...
Yeah, they worked with Valve really closely. They ported over the Counter-Strike on the Xbox. They did the Left 4 Dead's, the map packs. Yeah, that was what they did. They were working closely with Valve on the Xbox.
Oh, well, there you go. Either way, why would Take-Two buy buy this, I guess? I don't even know.
They got the money.
I guess. I mean, literally, like...
Sometimes you don't know, because they may not even be buying the studio. Maybe they don't give a shit about the studio or the talent. Maybe they felt that there's some engine that we don't even know about that these guys have been working on that they felt alone was worth the $10 million just to take the technology.
That's possible.
We don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there might be something worthwhile that they're developing right now, so...
You know how many people would kill for the Call of Duty engine? All these clone shooters like Homefront and all those other... You know what I mean? They would kill for that thing.
That's coming up. Oh, let's jump to that one right now. Homefront got bought out by Crytek for only about $500,000.
That's a steal.
Well... That's like literally they're basically going to develop this game for free because
they were already doing it.
Yeah, I know. Like literally,
it's running off the Crytek engine.
Yeah, literally. I mean, basically, they just got back their entire year's probably like salary for a bit. So
yeah,
I don't know. Windows open, something is. So anyway, basically, they got back some development costs, I guess, or something. I don't even know because they were saying that it would have gone for more, but because Crytek's already making it. They weren't going to have any other bidders. I don't know why you would have bid on this one anyway. I don't know what was on the auction.
That's why they got it for so cheap.
Yeah, that's why. Like literally, it's just like why would you have to outbid the studio who's got it already?
Some of this stuff went for so fucking cheap. It's unreal.
Yeah. And then here we go to the second big studio that they have, which is Volition, right here in Champaign, Illinois.
That was the crowning jewel of this entire thing.
Yeah.
It was the showcase piece.
Well,
Yeah. Well,
I'd
then
say the Company of Heroes one, the Sega buyout, was probably bigger than this. 'Cause that
No,
was-
not big wise, just...
but it's one of the better studios.
Yeah, sure. This is the Saints Row studio?
Yeah, Volition.
Okay, right.
Volition Inc. They were bought out by Koch Media for $22 million.
Thank God.
Yeah.
I didn't care who it went to. I just didn't want it to go to Activision or EA.
Yeah. Ubisoft was the backup
I didn't want it to
bidder.
go to Ubisoft either.
Really? They gave $5.5 million for it.
But that's not because they're located out. These are the guys that make Dead Island. They're out of Poland.
Koch Media?
The big guys whoever the main people are. Who
Yeah,
bought Saints Row.
Koch Media, yeah.
So the controlling
That's the
interest
bottom.
is coming from overseas now.
Yeah.
I think that's another company that'll stay the fuck out of it and just let Volition do what they do.
What's what they kind of do with...
Because EA and Activision might get scared of how over the top Saints Row is and kind of make them not like completely take away from what they do, but kind of scale it back because EA and Activision have huge marketing campaigns. And they'd want to go in there and they don't want to get the backlash that would come from a game like Saints Row, where THQ is kind of like, we don't care.
yeah.
You know, people are like, because remember all that crap that was coming out when Saints Row 3 was coming out?
Yeah.
With all the dildos and all that stuff.
Even Cliffy B this week was saying that studio would
People
be...
were making way too big of a deal about it. And Activision and EA aren't going to put up with that.
No, literally, Cliffy B, like, 2 days ago said that that game could kill Grand Theft Auto if they got rid of their immaturities. And I was like, no, that's what makes it charming.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I just think these guys, since they're not here and they don't have to deal with the American media,
Yeah.
they'll just let Saints Row do what Saints Row does best. Whereas Activision and EA would be all worried about publicity and how they looked to the American public, and maybe they'd be like, "Hey, you guys got to scale it back."
Well, actually, they got in trouble a little bit with the collector's edition of
Dead Island.
Dead Island 2. So,
yeah,
That
but
was a
what do
little
they
bit
do?
different.
They're just like, "Okay, we won't give that thing away."
Yeah.
They didn't have to issue some huge apology like Activision and shit would have. Where they're just like,
Yeah.
"Okay, we won't sell this little half-naked chick thing."
This is actually the second
It's a
studio they'll have.
torso.
The torso thing, the bloody torso.
Apparently, Deep Silver, since 2003, has released more than 200 games.
Sure.
They don't. Koch Media only has one studio, and it's Deep Silver. Now it's Volition. But that's just ridiculous. Like, they have, for all you PC players, they have Anno 1701, I know. Is
Those
a
things are out every 5
Civil
seconds
thing.
in you, Anno.
Yeah.
They release like 8 a day.
They did Catherine, Back to the Future they actually did on the Wii and PS3.
I think one just released. And that's
Yeah.
Another one's on its way.
Yeah, Dead Island, Gothic, Metro Last Light they actually worked on as well. Risen,
That's the big one that's coming out. They got the Metro
Yeah,
one.
I got Risen, Stalker they actually worked on. That's kind of cool. And they did some of the Warhammer stuff and the entire X series. Anyway, so there you go. Moving on, going to Metro since you just mentioned it. They went to also Koch Media for almost $6 million, beating out Ubisoft again.
That's the risky one. That's
Yeah.
the one. It's not risky.
No.
They'll make $6 million, but that game doesn't sell too good. Even Metro 23.
No, it's like it's a good game, but it just doesn't have
it's
a
a
huge
very
market
good game.
yet.
It only sold well when they were basically giving it away during those indie bundles. That's how it moved some units when it was $2,
Yeah.
$3 on Steam. Nobody was buying that thing
Yeah.
for $60.
Well, this sold well because isn't the new Metro game coming out like in 3 months or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I don't
it's,
think.
it's a finished product almost. So.
Yeah. That's why they think they know they'll make $6 million back.
And I'm
They only got to
guessing
sell 100,000 units for that to happen.
basically.
More than that, but
Yeah, and they'll do that. So
There you go.
news.
Well, no, we have one more.
Oh, yeah?
We have the
South Park.
one of my favorite studios in this, probably third favorite actually, I guess. But South Park Studios.
Not me. This is my favorite one coming out.
Yeah, I know.
Out of all these.
South Park, with its game due March 5th, supposedly. Anyway, Ubisoft picked them up for almost $3.3 million.
This is another game I heard was already done. And if this didn't sell, I know Matt Stone and Trey Parker were talking about just buying it outright.
They got the money.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. There was actually.
I don't think they want the headache of owning a studio, but I know they came out and said it that if there was any problems, they're like, we'll just.
I don't know.
sponsor it.
I don't know. You've seen the documentary on how they run their studio currently, right? I don't think they'd be the perfect people for it. I don't know.
No, they're like firemen. They work really hard for a few days and then they take a week off.
I know.
You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
what seriously. That's what firemen do.
No,
Like,
yeah, I know.
48 on, 36 off, or whatever,
Something like that,
It's just like that's
Yeah.
what South Park does.
Yeah.
It's like crunch, crunch, crunch. Get this episode ready. Take 3 days off. That's
Yeah,
cool.
I don't know if that would work for the games industry.
Who knows?
Who
I don't
knows?
think people
Yeah.
thought it worked for TV, and they
Probably
nailed
not.
that shit.
Yeah. Anyway, I know South Park earlier this week was they were actually coming out where they were running in some legal rights of actually the basically how you were talking about with like the WWE, where they were running into like where the rights go after the company goes under. And I know they tried to have it pulled from the auction last minute, and they never got around to it.
Yeah.
But anyhow, it ended up selling.
Okay.
Yeah, and we still have these studios that didn't sell.
We got the Darksiders makers.
Vigil.
Yeah, Vigil.
And we have, is that it?
I mean,
I think that was the
after
big one.
Few.
I mean,
The only big studio that didn't sell was probably them. Yeah.
The thing with Vigil is that they just released Darksiders 2. They didn't make money on it. They might, in the lifetime of the game, might have pulled a slight profit, but nothing.
Possibly, yeah.
And they're probably barely scratching the surface of what they were going to do next.
Yeah,
is,
their new game Crawler was only 2 months into development.
that's what I'm saying. So they're still like sketching shit out on paper.
Yeah, it was confirmed, well, virtually confirmed, that Crawler was a new IP, though. It wasn't a Darksiders 3. So, I don't know. The developers, one of the developers, Ben, I forgot his last name. He posted this huge like going away article about how amazing this new game was, and it was gonna blow everybody away.
Yeah.
2 months into development.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think I've heard that from almost every game.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything's so innovative. Every single game that's ever come out,
Yeah,
it's like, oh, just wait till you see this shit.
I feel for where Moss is coming from, though, being that's one of his more likable series, considering what I went through, back in November with
City Heroes.
City of Heroes, and more appropriately, what Paragon with what they were working on and everything like that. So no, I know what it means.
One of the founders of Vigil, Hayden Dalton, he made a tweet the other day saying any hopes for a Darksiders 3 with 4-player simultaneous online co-op they were on a shiver of hope is now crushed. Because that studio is sure, somebody might buy the IP still, but I mean Vigil Games does not exist anymore.
Yeah, they were all
everybody's laid off, and I'm sure some of them might have already gotten jobs.
Yeah.
So even if it comes together, it's a new team at this point. That same core people everybody will never be there again.
The industry acted out really well. I'm on Twitter, not for normal stuff. I just follow some of the video game
Porn.
total porn.
Video game
just all porn.
rate my rack.
No, I follow all some big figures in the video game industry. And as soon as this news all broke, just every major studio sent out things that they were hiring, and people could send them their resumes for all this shit. So everybody was trying.
IGN compiled the list
They were
on their website.
they were trying to
for
absorb,
everybody.
like I saw from Naughty Dog and Insomniac, and all the major studios were all blasting out hey, you guys send us your resumes, we'll take a look, we'll try to bring at least a few of you on board. So the whole industry acted really well after this all happened.
Platinum Games actually put out a tweet saying that they might be interested in acquiring the Darksiders IP.
Nice. What do they do?
Platinum, well, they're producing Bayonetta.
Yeah.
Okay.
They've got a few new IPs coming out for the Wii U. Wonderful 101, I believe, for the Wii U is coming out later in May. What else do they do?
They got that handed Metal Gear. I don't know how much they're doing with that, though.
Yeah, they did something with Metal Gear? Sure.
Are they in the States or no?
Sounds
Sounds like a state's name, but working on
I don't think so.
non-American-ish games. I think you said.
I actually
Tony's
don't know.
trying to get Mark drunk.
Oh, yeah, take advantage of me during the Rumble. You know what I mean?
Get a couple beers in him, he gets slutty.
Next topic.
That's the sexy news of the week, ending very sexually.
All right, so we've got a very small social media section today.
It's like your favorite part of the show, isn't it?
Metro, he commented when talking about last week how he originally made the suggestion of wanting to see Angry Andy do Minecraft Let's Play. And we didn't necessarily shoot it down, but we just explained probably how boring it would in reality be. He said
He's a perfectionist.
realistically, he'd want to see something where we're all playing together. Whether it be Minecraft or whatever, just all interacting together. So
We have that capture card, don't we, Tony?
We do.
My capture card.
Next.
Yeah.
Eventually.
I don't know, were you going to bring up the part where he asked me to watch something?
That's Andrew Dillon a little bit down.
Or else I was going to address that because it wasn't technically a question.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
We one second. Before you do that, we definitely need to plan some kind of Let's Play kind of thing. Because I think we have the Call of Duty Black War one, and then the ones I do every when I'm boredness. So we need to do something for playerness.
Yeah, we'll definitely get something going there soon.
We should do a 4-player Let's Play of Turtles in Time for the Super Nintendo.
Yes.
That'd be awesome.
Yes.
I'm totally in.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
I already own that on 360 as well.
He was supposed to play with me this week on 360, but he bailed on me.
Wait,
We were supposed to play Turtles in Time.
Yeah, it's
You can't buy it anymore.
Is
Oh,
there
you can't?
Is
No,
there a
it's gone.
Super Nintendo adapter that allows you to play 4 players? There's got to be. I assume so.
Yeah, there was a multi.
Yeah, multi-taps.
Multi-tap.
There's got to be, yeah.
You should let me know, and then Tony should record it, and then Tony can just retardedly put it somewhere, and then we'll do it.
Because he
Yeah,
doesn't
and you
know.
guys upload it.
Yeah, then we'll do everything else with it.
He knows how to work a capture card, but damned if he
but
knows how to
damned
post
if he
it.
knows
I
how to
installed
do
it. I installed it first try. I was just like,
It's plug and play.
This
I'm not
goes
even
right.
impressed.
Yeah, this goes right. Yeah, done.
We gave the guy
His
who
computer
doesn't know how to
catches on
post to
fire.
YouTube a capture card. Were we thinking
The
at
problem
all?
is, that I have the Mac and you have.
I got a badass machine.
Yeah, I don't know why I was thinking you had a laptop.
No,
You don't though.
I got a custom build.
All right, Epic Beast commenting on the whole Disney topic of the week last week. He said, "Doesn't Disney own DC? No, they do not. Warner Brothers owns DC, so you will not be seeing Superman in
Disney
Disney."
license that shit out.
Yeah.
I doubt those two.
I
are
don't
collaborating.
They'll
Not
stick,
Marvel versus DC.
They will
There's
stick
no
with
fucking
Marvel
way.
and Star Wars.
If you
I'm sure.
ever want to see Marvel characters interact with DC characters, you got to go play HeroClix. Good luck finding those. Flea
The heck is
markets
that?
everywhere.
I don't even know what the hell that is.
I don't
So
know.
those little figures that GameStop sold back in the day.
Back in the day,
Little.
I'm old as hell.
Uphill both ways in the
Go to
snow.
hell,
In the snow.
In the 90s.
And then
Some of those.
my horse died on the way down.
Some of those, they still make them. Some of the HeroClix figures actually get up to about $150 for rare ones, like Black Suit Spider-Man and stuff. Yeah. City of Heroes also made HeroClix. Andrew Dillon said,
Back
"Tony,
in the day when City Heroes was around.
I've got this little mini stylus. I'm going to jab you with it."
They all have southern accents.
It's
too, I guess.
rubberized. Yeah, they all have southern accents too. That's just how it was back in the day.
He said, "Tony, you should watch Game Theory to see how fast Sonic the Hedgehog really is."
I did, and I took his advice, and I looked up the exact video he was talking about. And while it was interesting, and the math was right, I think his whole concept's a little off, because he was being very much like a politician. And what I mean by that is numbers aren't always as true as you perceive them to be. They can be spun to say anything you want.
Spun.
They can.
I know.
Like-
it was like
With
a
Sonic,
Yeah,
the
Sonic.
Spawn.
Like here's the thing. There's 4 of us sitting in this room, right? Let's just pretend Mark hates Mario, okay? But the
Mario.
other 3, just
I made a
stick-
Mario
stick with me.
remake. I know,
Trying to
I'm
make a
kidding.
point. And the other 3 of us are big fans of Mario. I can say 75% of people are Mario fans. Technically, I'm not lying, but I can spin the numbers in my favor to get whatever point I'm trying to get across. And I feel that's what he did in that video. Because the way he was using to measure Sonic and stuff, I don't know. It was really interesting, and I think that guy's cool. And I actually ended up checking out a couple of his other videos. Really well done, really well researched and all that. It's just, I don't know.
You know, 90% of all statistics are made up.
On the spot.
On the spot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right then.
I was
there.
well aware of that.
So how fast did they say Sonic went?
Slower than Mario.
Really?
Mario is ridiculously
See,
fast.
No. Because the way they measure, it was such bullshit. This guy took.
Now he's getting angry.
Because I didn't want to get into this.
Oh, he's gonna start drawing out documents too.
It was a cool video. It was a cool video. I don't want to take anything away from this guy. Okay, but the way he measured Mario's speed by feet per second on the entire length of the first level of Mario. He took Mario's height by his width to find out exactly how many Marios would stack across the first world, and then how fast he would get from one Mario to like the 20th Mario, and then calculated his speed.
That's how they do speed, though.
Then he did it with, I know, but you're comparing two different worlds.
Yeah, I know.
They're pretending that the Mario scape is the exact same, or scope, excuse me,
Size.
is the exact same scope as the Sonic scope.
Yeah, because back then they were
he's
probably
going against,
made
like,
in millimeters or centimeters.
So then he
meters.
takes Sonic and he's like, from here but to the third tree, let's see how many Sonics fit. It's like, well, why did you utilize...
they're different sized characters as well. They're not in the same...
This is what I was saying.
Yeah,
So
no, I
his
understand.
math makes sense. It's just the way
the way he's doing it definitely makes sense, but you can't...
he was technically... That's what I'm saying. He
You
was
don't know the
technically
size
doing
of
it
the
right.
game. Literally.
No, but he does know, because he's like, well, this guy, if you go off the animated cartoon, was 3 meters and 3 inches tall, because that's what Sega officially came out and announced. Or whatever.
Okay,
and he's
I guess
technically
that.
right, but he's not. It's not.
I
It's just
can
weird.
See that then. If he gets the original, I was thinking of like in-game engine. Every engine's different too. So, but if he says he's got official numbers from whoever, everybody,
right.
maybe
Yes.
Anyway, in my professional opinion, Sonic is still very fast.
It looks faster.
Professional opinion.
My professional, astute opinion.
And the one question that we have this week comes from Magnus. He wants to know, what game do you think needs a sequel or a continuation of the series?
Ooh.
Left 4 Dead.
Why?
Are you going to
Why?
cop out like that? Just something you want? Or are we actually going with something that's been dormant for
Okay, something
5, 10
dormant that
5,
hasn't
10 years
okay, yeah.
that needs a
All right,
fucking
we'll do
sequel?
that. Something that hasn't been rumored because that cuts out everything Valve's ever done. So yeah, in a minute.
I got mine. I can go.
Go.
Okay, go for it.
I would love to see a Jack and Daxter 4. That series went away a while back. And I'd like to see that Naughty Dog moved on to Uncharted. It's obviously one of my favorite franchises of all time. And now it's good to see them spreading their wings and going with The Last of Us. But I'd love to see them revisit Jack and Daxter.
I have one. I am definitely all for seeing another Crackdown game. I don't know if you guys play Crackdown.
Yeah,
but
that's been gone for a while.
I
1
actually-
and 2 came out the first year, right? And then it's just been quiet.
One came out. I think it was.
It was a launch title, wasn't it?
I think it was.
No,
it was,
no,
it
shortly
was
after.
launch
Launch
window.
period,
It was
launch
launch
period.
window.
The only reason
Because
people bought
it was for
it
Halo.
for the Halo beta.
Yeah. But literally, it's actually a good open world game where you can just. I've never had so much fun just mess around. Like, that's why I like 2 so much better, because 4 people it just exponentially got stupider and better. And literally, that's just something more. I'm like, oh no, 8 people co-op. I don't care.
I really thought you were going to want to Brink 2.
Yeah, give me your rubber bandy multiplayer again.
I've got 2, and I don't think they're anything anyone would expect me to say.
City of Heroes.
No.
Damn it.
No.
I'm out.
No. I want a sequel to Jet Moto, because I loved that racing game.
I'm going to go back to that in a second, but go ahead.
And then Road Rash.
Road Rash.
Rash
I
was
would
awesome.
love another Road
I
Rash.
love an M version of Road Rash.
Road Rash was awesome.
Updated, yeah.
I remember playing Road Rash, knocking bikers off, and yeah, that was
Now,
great.
I believe the fine gem, I don't know if it's Sony Cambridge that used to make Joe Metal. I may be off.
It was 989.
989.
Yeah, and
They are supposedly still around, and nobody knows what they're working on. And there's hopeful rumors that that's a PS4 launch
like,
title.
to hell with Wipeout, all right? Give me Jet Moto, okay?
Well, the guys who made Wipeout, I think, went under too now.
That's all right, I don't care. I'm just saying I don't care about Wipeout.
But
if I want to play Wipeout, I'll play, F-Zero.
What I'm trying to say is, if you look back, most consoles launch with some sort of a racer, whether it be Project Gotham or like that. So with the PS4, when Gran Turismo 6 is inevitably on its 5th or 6th delay, they're going to need to get some kind of racer to showcase, because racers generally look really pretty and they get people familiar with the system. So you're looking at either a MotorStorm or Jet Moto, or possibly a Wipeout. Something like that is going to launch when the PS4 comes out. So who knows? You may get your wish, good sir.
And then I know EA still has the rights to Road Rage. They just renewed the licensing on that a year ago, I believe it was. But there's nothing solid about it. There was some rumor that Criterion might do something with it, but who knows?
Yeah,
they've kind of taken over on Burnout.
Yep.
I'm sorry, on Need for Speed.
Yeah.
I can think of a heck of a lot of games that I don't want there to be sequels to.
Go for it. Top 5 right now. Let's go.
Mario Party 9.
Okay.
Resident Evil 7.
Okay.
That's
only 2. Come on, you got 3 more to go.
Call of Duty, whatever.
Okay.
Call of Duty, anything.
Assassin's Creed, anything.
Okay.
Got
one
more
more.
series that need to die.
Yeah, got one more.
Castlevania's been going downhill lately.
I would like to see a Mega Man X9.
Okay.
Put that out there.
I would like to see a good 2D Castlevania. Back in the day, type shit, but with uprise. You don't even have to uprise it. Put that shit in 8-bit. I don't give a fuck. I'll buy it.
Same theory. I'd like to see a Ninja Gaiden 4.
Okay.
But 2D?
Yeah, classic style.
Yeah.
Sweet. Well, thank you for sending in the one question.
Earthworm Jim 4. Give it to me. I want it.
He was waiting for me to go ahead and close that up so that he could jump in and do that.
I just thought of that shit. I was thinking back to all my 2D days.
I'm trying to think back my N64 games.
We're going to have the same
Banjo and Kazooie and shit.
Ooh.
We're going to have the same conversation like 6 years from now. I'll be like, I want Darksiders
3.
Where's Uncharted 4?
What the hell? Where is Nate Drake? Make a cameo.
I miss him.
I want Resident Evil 13.
I swear they put him in a new Call of Duty game and then killed him off.
I'm pretty sure we're past 13 already, technically.
Yeah.
All right. So last week we finished up the first round of the Heroes and Villains tournament.
Yes.
Give a quick rundown of who we've got for the second round. Okay, we're going to do the Heroes first.
Wait, what are you doing?
I'm going to just name off who was going against who.
Don't spoil
really quick.
everything.
No, it's not spoilers because the spoiler was revealing the first
Like
round.
people are writing.
Technically, they
like
could.
people are writing this down.
Just saying,
and
technically-
We have like 30 comments of
Technically, they could.
who's where.
So I'm going to do the quick rundown.
Go ahead.
All right. We've got Master Chief versus Simon Belmont. We've got Marcus Phoenix versus Mario. We've got Ezio.
Jesus.
He's faster than Sonic.
He's faster than Sonic.
We've got Ezio versus Doom Guy. We've got Nathan Drake versus Mega Man. We've got Dante versus Kratos. Sub-Zero versus Batman.
Drake's gonna get fun.
Stranger versus Earthworm Jim.
Damn it!
Agent 47 versus Captain Price. That's the heroes.
That's not a bad list.
Yeah.
Not
No.
too shabby.
So
No Link because he fought Kratos.
Kratos,
Yeah,
bad
exactly.
timing.
see, Sam was upset about
Ratchet had an unfortunate first round exit
Who do
to
you- who do you-
Sub-Zero.
Oh, yeah.
Ratchet was a heavy favorite. He should have been way further.
Yeah, but he can get frozen.
that. Okay, so we're doing
got
just
frozen.
one of each. All right, and so the first one is going to be Master Chief versus Simon Belmont.
Naturally.
Yeah. Go ahead. Give us a refresher on Chief.
Chief.
Done.
Done. He's the master of all the chiefs.
I think he was. Did he end up being president too?
Yeah, no.
He's
It
had,
was-
he's had
that was
another
Shepard.
No,
game.
it was it was Marcus Phoenix was the president, the vice president.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You're right.
To the dude from Mass Effect, Shepard.
Yeah, Shepard. That's what I said.
So Master Chief has actually had another game since the first round, right? Since the first round came out before.
Yeah.
Before launched, yeah. Yeah, if anything, he's
turned
gotten
in
more badass.
Yeah. He just gets better as time as
I don't
time
know.
ages.
I thought he was crying whiny bitch at the end of Halo 4.
Really? Why? Because he lost.
Spoilers.
Ah,
Look
No, spoilers.
This is the game of the year cast.
Go ahead. Somebody take Simon. I don't know what the hell's he gonna do against Chief? Dude? He's gonna take his little fucking whip out and just. Chief's gonna done.
If he can beat Dracula, he can take on Chief.
That was how Belmont got out of the first round. I'm like, dude, fuck up
I don't know, man. Yeah, he's kind of a badass, but
But is he Chief Badass Level?
I don't think so. I don't think so. What was that?
I just laughed.
Oh,
All right, dude.
Isn't Simon Belmont only in like 2 games?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He's not.
two more than you've
it's,
been
It's
in.
his bloodline that continues.
Right.
How do you know? How do you know? Some fans out there haven't made
I'm
Legend
in
of
one
Oz.
game. I'm in
Okay.
one game.
Okay.
Probably exists.
I'm in a couple video games. I made myself a Tony Hawk. I made myself a
Yes,
WWE.
true. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm in all the NHL
I got my
games.
own little guy in City of Heroes. In Minecraft, my guy kind of looks like me. He's got a little goatee and whatnot.
Literally, in the game that we released this week, I ended up being the character artist, and literally, I was just like, "What do I do?" So I gave him like a chin strap and like the goatee and everything. I was like, "Okay, sure."
I really don't think there's much of a debate here. Simon Belmont is old magic and everything like that against new tech. He's not going to really get very
Sticky
far.
grenade.
Yeah. I mean, he's going to throw a cross at you. Dink!
Don't bring a whip to a gunfight.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So I don't see him.
Quick quote you on that. Make a meme of it.
A meme.
A meme?
Yeah, whatever.
A meme.
Meme.
Gonna meme
Meme.
him.
Meme emulator.
Don't bring a whip to a gunfight. I like it. And just you sitting there with two thumbs up.
No, it'd be like Simon like this, and then Master Chief holding a gun.
All right, so do we have to? We're going to take it to a vote.
Yeah,
Go.
I'm going with Chief.
Chiefo. Take that as Chief.
Sure.
I'm going to go Master Chief. So.
Master Chief.
Okay. Sorry, Simon. All right.
You're dead.
Wait, I do have a question I thought about when I was in the washroom.
Why you're in the crapper?
He's looking down
Did
at his
you-
penis.
did
While I was holding in...
Did you say Sub-Zero's in the hero bracket?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you not played Sub-Zero Mythologies?
No, I'm just saying he can go either way.
Yeah, that's what we decided.
I was wondering why.
Yeah, actually, you decided on that.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. I'm going to do the quick rundown of the second round of the villains bracket. It's Sweet Tooth versus Dracula.
Nice.
Oh, man.
Ooh, this is
You're
a
gonna get...
good one.
Darth Vader versus GLaDOS.
Ooh,
Albert
that's
Wesker.
a potato.
Albert Wesker. No, that's not as the potato.
Yeah, I know.
It's Albert Wesker versus Pyramid Head.
Oh, my goodness.
You want
General,
to come back for that show, don't you?
General Shepard versus Ganon. Dr. Nefarious versus the Lich King.
How the fuck did Dr. Nefarious make it?
Because he fought Flaffle.
Oh, that's how.
Okay. Scarecrow versus the Locust Army.
Scarecrow from Batman Scarecrow?
Yeah, he was in it. Zeus versus Sephiroth.
That's a good one.
That thing's going to be epic.
Yeah, I know.
And then we've got-
That'd be like a 2-day fight.
We've got Team Rocket versus Darth Malik.
Jesus Christ. I was thinking how much of a massacre.
With so much blood.
So we've got Sweet Tooth versus Dracula. Is the first matchup of the second round of the villains bracket.
What has Dracula been in other than Castlevania?
I think we were basing our Dracula off of the
been in-
Castlevania series.
Yeah, that's the one we're using, but he's also been in Van Helsing on the original Xbox.
I think one point that we did kind of miss with Dracula when we were discussing him last time is he's
Like a year
actually
ago.
he's actually one of the main. Besides being the main villain of most of the Castlevania games, he was also the character that you played as in one. I don't remember which one, but it was Alucard, who is the reincarnation of Dracula. So he's had both sides of the spectrum. And then we just went over Sweet Tooth last week. Mm-hmm. So where do we want to go with this one?
I'm ready to vote. I mean, if it needs discussion or if it's a tie, that's a different story. I already know where I stand.
Okay,
It's up to you guys, though.
go for it.
I'm going with Sweet Tooth.
Somebody sway me because I'm going Sweet Tooth right now, but it's because I don't really remember too much about Dracula. So someone give me a refresher.
If you're taking if you're taking like Dracula lore, like from all of history,
that's what I'm basing it
and
on
you're,
right
you're
now,
basing
yeah.
it off books and stuff, then Dracula's probably one of the fiercest things ever thought up by man.
I don't know,
But
man.
If
Buffy
you're
fucked
going
him up a lot.
if you're going off of
Castlevania.
Castlevania, I just don't see it happening. That's my problem. You know what I mean?
Castlevania have to didn't Simon have to reassemble Dracula before he can finally?
They had to reassemble him and fight him. He's immortal, obviously. He keeps coming back. He's fought an entire
He's got that
bloodline.
He's got that.
You know?
He's got that decoy move. That unflash here and
Yeah.
repeat right here and shit, whatever it's called.
he's pretty badass.
Well, okay, so we're going like straight up Mortal Kombat fight though.
Yeah.
What would he be able to do?
He's got a
He
couple
can
power
teleport.
moves and shit.
That's
what a teleport. That's
Yeah,
what
let me.
I think a teleporter.
I call it a decoy because that's what what's his face used to be. Raiden from Mortal Kombat 2, right?
Decoy?
When he used to stop here and he
that-
used to show up behind you on the other side.
Oh, that was a teleport.
Sounds like a blink.
Decoy,
Let me see
Decoy's
if I
more
can-
like what Noob Saibot did. He threw out a fake person at you,
Okay.
and that would
Quick,
I
kill
probably-
him instead.
I remember in Castlevania 1 when I got to Dracula, I probably died maybe 75 times before I finally beat that boss. Granted, you spawn right at the boss after you make it that far.
Okay, so this is off of Wiki, just to kind of give everybody a rundown for Dracula. Dracula has displayed great powers in battle. These include, but are not limited to, the ability to spawn fire in various forms, such as simple balls of flame or burning meteor-like spheres, control over bats and other creatures of the night, the ability to transform into a wolf, mist, a bat, or other more hideous forms to heighten his powers, a vast array of blood magic. Among the other powers, such as teleportation, he has the power of dominance, which allows him to absorb the souls of monsters and use the abilities as his own. Demon forging, which creates loyal minions from wisps. This is ridiculous.
See, I see a lot of this affecting other characters, but kind of being null and void against.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying about like the fire. You're going down with a guy who's his head's on fire.
Yeah, what's fire gonna do? The guy's constantly walking around in flames.
You got to fight fire with fire.
Aside from that, I mean, I don't know. Where do you stand so far?
That swayed me a little bit.
I hate to see the clean sweep of Castlevania in one podcast here. I will hold the ground down on Dracula.
Okay. So it comes down to Jason. If he ties it up, then we need further discussion.
Where are we at?
Where do you stand, sir?
Mosswell with Dracula.
I couldn't take the
Dracula.
clean sweep of Castlevania.
Yeah. Damn it! Why has it got to be me?
Okay, Sweet Tooth has appeared in is almost invariably depicted as an old family. Fuck, where's his powers?
You know, even if you vote for one, then it's going to be.
I'm so used to him being in a truck.
Yeah, I
Ice
mean,
cream.
Think of it this way: if you vote for Dracula, you'll put the pressure on Angry Andy to break the vote.
yeah.
Well, technically, since we rushed this, we could discuss a little bit more before we went to the tiebreaker. Because I kind of initiated the early vote just because I didn't, you know. But it's on you, good sir. What are you thinking? We got 2-1 in favor of Sweet Tooth. You either tie it up or end it.
You know, looking at it from a Mortal Kombat aspect, I would have to give it to Dracula because he seems to have more abilities. He's got a little bit more cunning as to where it kind of goes back on some of the previous conversation we have. Sweet Tooth is more of just like a, I don't want to call him a
He hasn't gone up against anyone like immortal.
Exactly. I mean, but he's also brute power. I mean, you know, if you look at the scene in the new Twisted Metal game when he's like killing everyone in the hospital, he makes the comment, he goes, "I'm glad I didn't decide to take the elevator." He's not. He kills for the sake of killing. He doesn't have. I guess he does lack a bit of intelligence in what he does.
Now, sadly, I actually didn't vote from before, but I believe I'm going with Dracula.
Okay, then.
Oh!
All right.
I'm sticking with Sweet Tooth, but I'm done.
Okay.
Yes. All right.
Let me go ahead and advance him.
Castlevania lives on.
Now,
Tony Brackett.
If it was like a chariot race and Dracula's in a chariot and Sweet Tooth's got the car, then
I'll develop that.
Well,
I'm not mad.
Dracula just teleport.
It's all irrelevant. I mean, Darth Vader's taking this down. It's irrelevant.
No, not going to happen. No. I would rather vote Malik than Darth Vader. So I'm telling you right now that's not going that far.
I'm just telling you.
I want to see that
Vader.
I've seen the future, and it's Sub-Zero versus Vader.
Okay.
I want to see that Albert Wesker versus Pyramid Head. That's like a Resident Evil versus Silent Hill.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, that's a good one too.
I love
So that
Pyramid
brings us back to the sidekick bracket making its triumphant return. Triumphant. This is like our favorite one.
This is my favorite one.
We've got Claptrap versus Diddy Kong. We've got Clank versus the Darkling. We've got Dom versus Pikmin. And Pikachu versus HK47.
Oh my God, Dom versus Pikmin.
It's hilarious.
Wait, Pikachu versus HK47?
Oh, jeez.
So what's today?
Today is
That's not too
Claptrap
bad. We'll see.
versus Diddy Kong.
Who's Claptrap?
Claptrap
guy
is
from
the
Borderlands.
robot from Borderlands.
Versus Diddy Kong.
Yeah. Well, no, Diddy Kong being Diddy Kong, the one with the two little peanut guns, and
He had his own racing game.
He did. It was good. You could fly or
this
boat
need
or
discussion?
race.
I mean, Claptrap's hilarious, but what's he gonna do?
Well, here's my deciding factor. Okay, Diddy Kong is a monkey, and monkeys are known for what? climbing, right?
Oh, I was going to say shitting in their hand and throwing their
Okay,
feces.
well, hear me out.
Nice, Tony. Stand right there.
In a straight up battle, okay, Diddy Kong can climb a set of stairs and throw poop at Claptrap.
Claptrap can't go upstairs.
Yeah, he is.
No stairs.
Is that a quote? Okay.
Yeah, it is. Because you just got a wheel.
This really happened.
Leading into the final battle in Borderlands 2,
Claptrap
is assisting you. He's opening doors and everything. He's getting you to where you need to go, and you come up to a giant staircase, and he goes, "Damn you, handsome Jack! You knew the one thing that could defeat me: stairs." Because he's a
little robot on one wheel.
He's got one wheel.
Who did he beat in the first round?
GLaDOS as a potato.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Diddy Kong.
Diddy Kong?
Diddy Kong.
Diddy did it.
Diddy did
That's how
it.
Diddy won.
Did it.
Diddy, that's how Diddy won the first round when Diddy did
This is
it.
true, because Diddy fought Tails in round one.
I was here for that one, I believe.
You might have been.
Do you remember Diddy did it? There was a lot of Diddy did it that day.
That is
the tournament
for this week.
All right.
Hey, let me close out my section. Doo-doop, doo-doo, doo-doop, doo-doo.
Yeah, man, go sing it. Keep going.
See?
I'm dancing.
I'm dancing until I come to stairs.
All right, we'll hop right into this. Keep this show rolling. We'll get into the top of the week. This week,
unfinished song.
Jason sung it for me.
Hey, we need to finish it.
No, we need the Tony's topic.
Tony's topic of the week.
There you go. Now I'm happy. Now I'm
Everybody's happy. We're actually going to cover the huge Nintendo Direct conference that went on, and luckily Moss is here, our Nintendo correspondent.
So we can say goodnight to Mark for the next 20 minutes, right?
What? No.
Wait, Mark's actually here for a Nintendo topic this time, because he was not there. The 2 episodes that he missed, we discussed the Wii and the Wii U for a topic of the week.
Really?
Yes. Yeah, he was not there for those.
I know Nintendo. I just don't get Nintendo stuff.
Fucking A.
He's like, completely irrelevant. Fucking A.
We'll start. I don't know. I'm just whatever. So a fuckload of stuff. got
Start off.
How does that distinguish from a shitload?
It's more than a shitload, but less than an ass ton.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right, got it. I got the spectrum visualized in more than one way.
The 3 main things that we're not. Well, we'll just go one at a time. Okay. Forget it.
Go.
So I don't want to start with this. Okay, so we got confirmed at E3. We're gonna see a new Smash Brothers.
Yay!
I like Smash Brothers.
This goes in line. Let's just throw in the new Super Mario game they announced.
Okay, there's a
Mario
3D Mario game and Mario Kart all got announced at E3. Getting showcased at E3.
At the Nintendo Direct, they didn't say anything new about these things. They just said they are coming. And I think they might be here this year, at least Mario Kart and Mario. But I think this was just they were just trying to reassure Nintendo fans that have not converted over that you are getting a Mario Kart, and a Smash. They're 3 perhaps biggest names.
Yeah, this is definitely because Nintendo, they kind of they blew the road early, which is great. They had an excellent excellent launch.
Oh yeah, they had a good launch.
They blew their load.
They blew their load. They shot their load right away. And then there's pretty much been a drought since right after launch.
Well, I mean,
two games came off.
It's also December and January, the lowest release months of the year.
I'm just saying.
Nobody releases anything 1, 2 months, 3 months after.
I understand. I'm just saying people were getting a little upset because
tell them to not be stupid.
Well, the other thing
every console's gonna be like that.
I disagree. I think most of the people that are upset are people that haven't bought the console yet, not people that have the console and are
probably
like, where's stuff.
Yeah. Well, the other thing too, because I know this was bringing up quite the interesting debate online as well. People were talking about how Nintendo didn't have enough stuff out, and other people, and how this was to reassure people that bought it. But then there's the other side where people. God, I'm losing my train of thought here. I was trying to get at something. I forgot.
I told you to masturbate when you were in the bathroom. It cleared your mind.
Should have centered
calmed
yourself.
you down.
I lost my train of thought. Whatever.
Okay.
It'll come back to me. Sorry.
That's one of the first times Tony's just completely lost it without us interrupting him, then forgetting.
I know.
Yeah,
he did it to himself this week.
did it to yourself.
Okay, so do we want to review a little bit as far as the the titles that they announced?
Did they
Maybe
release
what we
any like
expect from them?
details or?
Oh, I know what I was trying to say.
You're welcome.
No.
Okay,
Yeah.
so a lot of people were saying that this stuff was there was no reason to announce this stuff because like you were saying the people that are happy that have their accounts that aren't curious where the new stuff is coming from, you're not calming them down because they weren't panicking in the first place. It's the people like you said that don't have it yet that were maybe thinking about it. It's maybe trying to steer them more toward picking up a Wii U. Like, hey, the games are coming.
For the most part, Nintendo handles things a lot differently than, in particular, how Microsoft and a lot of third parties do it, where they don't announce stuff that's not coming soon. They usually don't do that. So,
Wait, what do you mean? They don't?
they didn't talk about Mario and
They don't
Zelda
get it, like, a year
and
in
all the
advance,
stuff
right?
like that. Oh, it's 2013 here, and this is coming out like holiday 2014. Like,
Yeah, they don't do.
they don't do
long
that sort of thing. Like, whereas
build up.
a lot of other third parties.
Oh, you build it up for over a year.
Yeah.
Call of Duty starts in like what, June?
They're probably
Well,
announcing the other
Yeah, I
ones
was like
soon.
May maybe.
That's an annual thing. But
Yeah,
like,
I know, but
new
yeah.
Bungie's titles in hype and
Bungie's been getting talked about for a year, and we're still over a year away from launch.
So
Yeah.
this went up against a lot of what Nintendo has been doing, at least recently, in the last, I'd say, year and a half, where they're talking about stuff that's not coming out in the next 6 months. So, and it was just to reassure people. I mean, they didn't need to do it, but you know, at this conference they had so much stuff where they didn't need to mention Smash, Mario Kart, or Mario. I think.
The other thing too is I think Nintendo did a lot of this because they know what's coming with the announcements of the new console, and they're trying to drum up some publicity for themselves going into E3. Because I mean, I think Nintendo and Xbox announced earlier in E3 and showcased E3.
You mean
And
Sony and
Sony and Microsoft.
Yeah,
you-
he said
you-
Nintendo.
you-
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, I was just
And what
clarifying.
Nintendo's doing is they're showcasing a little too. So then when they go into E3, people know what to expect, and then they can showcase these great games that are coming out.
'Cause it's gonna be
as
hard-
opposed to just announcing.
Yeah, I mean, just like how it was last year when Nintendo was showing off hardware. It's hard to compete with anyone who's showing off hardware. So you announce earlier, so you actually have people building up for E3, so you're actually going to have some kind of following before E3.
Yeah. Here's another one that I know absolutely nothing about. So if you don't know, I don't know who's going to carry this part. I guess a Fire Emblem X. Is this the whole title?
X.
Shin Megami.
Yeah.
Shin
Shin
Megami.
Megami Tensei?
Yeah, they're doing
Sure.
cross promotion.
Yeah.
The big thing.
But I don't know anything about this.
Shin
I just know
Megami
this got
Tensei
announced.
is a game by itself.
Yeah.
And Fire Emblem is his own series.
Yeah.
So is this like a Street Fighter
It's
cross
a
Tekken?
cross,
Kind of,
basically.
Yeah, I don't exactly know what type of game it's going to be because Fire Emblem is. Does anyone play?
Yeah,
I
I
have,
like
yes.
Fire Emblem. I like Fire Emblem, actually.
Yeah.
How would you describe it as?
Tactical turn-based.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you played Advance Wars, 'cause I know that ended up being popular. Like, when DS
well,
came
it's
out,
huge in
like
Japan.
that.
Yeah,
It's-
I mean the last Fire Emblem game. I haven't played a lot of them, but I did play the last one on the DS. I think it was. If one of your party members died, he was gone.
Yeah,
for the
he's
whole,
just dead, and they
he's
redo.
gone.
Yeah, then like the story changes a little bit
Yeah.
because of that. Mm-hmm. I like Fire Emblem.
But
I'm
now-
actually a Fire Emblem fan.
Shin Megami Tensei is a very traditional turn-based RPG with kind of
Does it
rated
do
R elements in
Persona and stuff.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
Persona.
that's Persona. Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I thought.
there. So I mean,
I know a lot of people go nuts for that series too.
Yeah, I mean it's high school kids that commit suicide to turn into demons. Essentially.
Well, now I know more of the
Good
story.
inspiration for our younger generation.
Well, it's not
Yeah,
really.
right.
It's not really. They don't die. It's one of those crazy out there Japanese,
Yeah, it's one of the more popular ones in the US.
panty and vending machine type things. You know,
You heard him.
panties and vending machines.
I know Fire Emblem is big, and a lot of the people I deal with online.
What was that?
There's like 3 of the Shin Megamis.
They just released 4.
Well, no, there's the Persona games, but then there's also those Devil Summoner ones that came out like years ago on the PS2.
Yeah, but they all kind of follow the same. for
I
the
know what a
most
Shin
part.
Megami
Weird
is.
because like the older ones, you didn't have to shoot yourself. These kids like became the monsters themselves, and
Yeah.
they were like automatically from like an event that happened in the world.
Yeah, it's like Japanese Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Well, it's Death Note. If you watch that, that's the only reason I know what a Shin Megami is because of Death Note.
But Fire Emblem is a big series. It's not something I'm interested in. So I imagine just a lot of people, you know, it's good for the Fire Emblem fans. It'll sell its couple million, and yeah,
As long as,
hoorah.
as long as they make their money back for that. Like I said from the initial beginning, I know nothing about either of these series. I thought it was one game. That shows how
Yeah,
little.
no, it's a cross
I
between
had no idea. So.
popular. I mean,
I don't know
both
much
of them
about
have
it.
a following, basically. So
Fire Emblem's huge, though. But
yeah, I love Fire Emblem. It's good stuff.
The next one that came out, the gentleman who made the Xenoblade game, which was one of the latest original Wii releases, and it got stellar reviews and everything.
Same people that made Final Fantasy back when Final Fantasy was relevant.
Yeah, when they were good.
Yeah.
Anyway, they're announcing a new RPG in some form or another. I don't know if it's a Xenoblade
That's not the one that
continuation, or if it's something completely different in a different.
There's
world.
like one Wii game coming out this year.
Pandora's Towers. Coming out.
Is that it or no?
No. That's
Okay.
No, this is like just getting showcased.
Oh, okay.
This is probably a year and a half away.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
but that game was huge, and it was the best Wii game last year.
Yeah,
if that means much. But it's nice to know that they're continuing on with that. Yeah. And Xenoblade has been around since before Chronicles, I believe.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, this is the one that I haven't gotten around to it yet. I know I said I was going to. This is actually the one game that I want to kind of dust off the Wii for. I want to go back and I actually want to check this game out. So, because
I know good reviews and everything. Yeah.
Everybody gave it stellar reviews.
I think it got a 40 out of 40 on Famitsu.
It got
a perfect score on the Japanese.
All I saw were 9s and higher, 4.5 out of 5. Everything everybody gave
everything in the A rating.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you'll get those fluctuations, but this game, everybody had nothing but praise about it. So, aside from that, we'll come back to this one in a while. This is one of the bigger ones. Let's knock out Wii U Party.
What is there to take?
I don't know.
It's
it looks like the little showcase. Looks like something that should have came out a little earlier.
Yeah, maybe at launch. But they had Wii Party for the Wii.
Yeah,
and it sold a couple million. And Wii U Party will sell a couple million. And it'll do party games. I don't know about you guys. I actually like party games if they're done well. But it is what it is. It's not going to be revolutionary here.
I like them in small doses. I know I had some fun playing some of the mini games on the Wii U.
I still love Mario Party.
The problem is that I get a little bored after a while because there's not much depth.
Well, yeah, because you just keep doing the same game over and over.
After 20, 25, 30 minutes, I'm kind of like, okay, what else do we want to do? That's kind of how I feel about them. So. Yeah. They're fun for a little time.
Yeah, party games are good for a lot of people.
They're better in bulk, which is why they're party games. When you got 4 or 5 people around.
Yeah. For all there was a lot of shovelware in the Wii. They had party games, and they all sucked pretty much. Yeah. But the Nintendo's first party games were pretty solid, I'd say.
Deca Sports.
Yeah. So, I mean, even the Mario parties and such, and Wii Party was pretty big.
I still enjoy Mario parties. I actually still. It's one of those series I have good memories of as a kid, so I still like playing those as well. So.
Yeah.
All right, now here's an interesting one. This Yoshi Land. Because this, when I saw the initial artwork, it almost looks Kirby Epic Yarn-esque.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Same developer.
Which, as childish as that game was, is actually one of my favorite Wii games. I kind of love that game. So I'm actually kind of looking forward to this, as long as they don't overdo it. Like Kirby Epic Yarn was so weird. I wish it was a little bit more adult themed, but it was so well done. It was really childish, that game.
I know,
but it was still cool. I don't know.
You couldn't even die in that game.
No,
right?
No.
I don't think so.
Float back over to track you back a little bit.
Nobody ever dies in Nintendo.
No.
Yeah.
So. I think it's good to see Yoshi get his own game. He hasn't had one since the Nintendo 64, I believe.
Yeah.
So it's one of their.
What was on 64?
Yoshi's Island.
Yeah, that's right.
I think. Yeah, right.
Yoshi Island or Yoshi Story.
Yoshi Story.
Anything on GameCube?
Something 64. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think he did.
So it's a franchise. They have. It's not going to be a blockbuster. It'll sell its 1 million, 2 million units. And
Yoshi might have the potential to sell a little bit more than Kirby did, though.
I think Kirby's a bigger franchise.
Really?
Than Yoshi. Yeah, for sure.
But I think Yoshi might be a little bit more.
Kirby does big numbers, I think.
No, I'm just saying, familiar to parents who may not know, who Kirby is or something like that. They go, "Hey, that's that little dinosaur that Mario rides."
Well, he rides it on Mario's coattails.
Yeah.
I remember that thing that was done 5 or 10 years ago was they confirmed that Mario is a more recognizable character to children under the age of 10 than Mickey Mouse. That's fucking crazy.
I can believe that. Yeah.
But I'm just saying. So Yoshi's automatically
he's right
associated with Mario. That just by he's gonna get everybody knows who Yoshi is.
as far as the art style goes, I mean, yeah, they're kind of copying Kirby, but it's kind of appropriate for Yoshi because
He even quite literally looked sewn up, like he was made out of like
Oh, yeah,
like
it's
a
the same thing. It's the exact same thing.
Yeah, but in the old Yoshi games, it was like they were almost like construction paper and very like kiddie. You know, like the flowers were uneven and stuff like that, and they dance in the background and shit like that. You know, Yoshi is always has been directed for kids and his standalone games.
Yeah. Rock on. Okay, Yoshi.
All I know is I always did Yoshi and Mario Kart. Always.
I like
Bowser.
DK.
Bowser. I like
Always
ramming
Yoshi.
people.
I like DK.
Yoshi was always like the middle of the range person. That's why I always loved him because he was at speed, acceleration, and on the power. But I didn't really ram people.
I played Peach.
The only time I utilized Peach a lot was in Super Mario 2 because of her floating abilities.
Oh, yeah.
I hated that game.
And I hated Luigi with his fucking legs going like this and shit. It's like, what are you doing?
Nobody ever played as Toad.
No.
I should have probably written them down, but I was a little lazy when I wrote this down.
Lazy asshole.
The Miiverse upgrades. Do you know any of them off the top of the head that you could speak about on behalf?
Are you referring to the...
I don't know what I'm referring to, which is why I probably should have taken better notes.
Well, they said there's going to be a spring software update and a summer software update.
That's what I think the article is about, by all means.
Yeah, well, the big thing is there's a lot of problems with the... just changing from like channel to channel on the Wii. Like you load a game and it takes like 15 seconds for it to like
Switch over.
Yeah, they said they're going to correct that in the next patch, I guess. So that's nice.
Like
And
getting places faster.
Yeah.
yeah, it seems like something that should have been there from the get-go. That seems like an unnecessary...
Almost everyone's run into that problem. Every console's almost run into that problem of like the switching over between things. I don't get it, but it just seems to happen.
It should be like a computer. Open up
I know.
folder. That's it. Like,
Yeah, it's like one of the things the console systems have just at one point or another failed to do properly, I guess.
Yeah. Well, it's nice to know that they're going to fix it. I was worried that this was going to be a generation-long thing. Like, oh, we'll do it next console.
Yeah, we'll get next time.
Yeah.
On the back burner.
Was this with the Wii U with the eShop, or is that a different topic?
Are you talking about the pricing thing that we were talking about on the way over here? That's the absolute last thing I wanted to cover.
Oh,
So
okay.
we'll get to that in
The
a minute.
last.
Yes.
Well, that relates to the Miiverse, so
You want to do it now?
yeah, let's do that now.
All right, let's knock it out. Well, I know a lot of stuff was coming up this week. People were getting a little upset because I saw. Me and Moss were talking about this on the way over here. That I saw. I understood very well both sides of the story, and the issue is, people on one side are complaining that Nintendo's recharging for games that they may have already bought through the eShop to put them over on the Wii U. Okay, and I get both sides because I understand Nintendo's side. First of all, it's their property. They could do whatever the fuck they want with it. They could charge you as many times as you want because you're willing to buy it. Nobody's telling you have to keep rebuying these games you've owned before.
Yeah.
And Nintendo also included backwards compatibility. You can go into the Wii part of the Wii U and you can drag your files over and it'll still work off your Wii U. Okay? And Nintendo added new features such as the gamepad use and stuff like that on certain games.
That's not on the game. If you just save your Wii files,
It won't work. I'm saying if you were to pay extra, they give you that.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, so the games, now I believe for a Nintendo game is that if you previously bought it, you have to pay an additional $1.
Some games they vary from $1 to $2. There's $1.50 and $2 games, I think.
Okay, yeah.
Depending on whatever
their original price
Yeah.
was $4.99 or $7.99.
Now, on the other side of the fence, and I totally get this too, because people, I think, are a little too used to... Like, Nintendo does their own thing. They really do. They march to the beat of their own drum and stuff, and that's fine. Nintendo's a very successful company, and nobody should doubt whatever the hell they're doing, because it obviously works. But I think people are looking too much at the other side of the fence, which is what Steam, PlayStation, and Microsoft do, which is you have it all centralized onto an account, and everything gets tied over. Like if I buy something on a PS2 digitally, I can still access it on the PlayStation 6, which isn't even out yet, because it's all linked up.
It's not?
It's
I
all
just
linked
bought
up.
mine this week.
It's all linked up digitally to your account, and you're all set. When the new consoles come out, you should be able to carry everything over. It's how Steam is. Mark was talking about this on the way over, too, because he jumped into the conversation when we picked you up.
Yeah.
He said the same thing. He said he's got access to games from 3 PCs ago because of Steam. You keep moving forward, and your count is... If you bought it once digitally, there's no reason for you to continually have to buy it just because the hardware improved. You should technically own it because you gave him the money once.
What was the?
That's the big argument.
I guess,
and I see both sides. I do get it.
I don't disagree, but
Yeah.
I think, like you were saying, they did add a couple new abilities in there that weren't previously available. So it's like, okay, you're paying $1 or $2 to update your game to be compatible with your current hardware, which I can kind of understand. I mean, I know, being somebody who does a lot of mobile stuff, most of my updates are free, but like the game that I was just talking about earlier, Plague Inc., they have an expansion coming up, an update coming up, which is going to unlock more features available in February. They're going to charge $1 for it. But, I mean, you're getting more content. You're getting new ways to play it. I get that it should just carry over, and if it was carrying over just to continue to play it how it was available before, yes, it should be completely free. But they are offering you new features and new accessibility by updating it.
See, I don't know, because there's another way to look at it too. I'm not sure how iOS works personally, but as for Android, okay, you log into your Google account and everything's logged in. Like when I got my tablet, I logged into my Google account for my phone, and it has every app I've ever bought and everything I've ever downloaded for free. And it's like, which ones do you want to put on your tablet, or do you not want any of them? Fine, blah blah. Everything would have been free. Does iOS work that way? Okay, so now
For the
iOS.
most part.
Okay, for the most part. Let's just assume.
I'll let you get through it, and then I'll explain.
Okay, so with your iOS, everything was initially set up for that screen size. Okay, then they upgraded to the elongated iPhone 5. So did they charge you for the update? Because now it's utilizing the better screen. Did they charge you for that upgrade of the stretch size? It was just included, right?
But
that kind of nullifies
going from my phone to my tablet. Most of my games carried over.
You had to rebuy some shit though.
Some had there was specific iPad versions or upgrades that I had the option to buy. So it would have stretched it out and pixelated it, or whatever the case may be. I could get what they called the HD, the iPad version of it, and get extra features, and it would have cross compatibility with what I have now. So yes and no. You know, some of them.
Sony does it really cool because I know everything is crossed between PlayStation Mobile, which is literally Sony phones, Sony Ericsson phones, PSP, PlayStation Vita, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3. They all talk and it's all together. Okay? And PlayStation upgrades you for free. When you want to play a Vita game, or a PSP game on your PS3, sure, the quality won't be perfect. I mean, even the PSP didn't look all that good. But considering it's on your big screen, it looks okay for being a PSP game. Playing it up on the big screen, you know, and I don't know if they up-res it or whatever because it looks passable, and they don't charge you a dime for it. It's all linked to your PSN account, and you're done.
I guess for someone like me, who I don't currently have the Wii U, but I'm now interested, which that'll come up a little bit later.
Yeah.
Shut lost. I've stated plenty of times, if Nintendo would charge me $1 to play Legend of Zelda on my phone, I would do it. I don't have a problem paying $1 or $2 to be able to access this content on a new console.
Well, that's not. I know what you're saying, but the thing is, I think people have bought these games for $10 before on the Wii, on the Wii Virtual Console. Now they want it on the Wii U because is it a pain in the ass kind of to switch from the Wii U interface to the Wii?
You just got to reload it, and it takes time. It's kind of a hassle. It's like, why?
It's just kind of a hassle. It's not
you want everything in one spot.
Yeah.
Like, why? So,
I think we were also talking about this on the way over. I think Nintendo is moving to this. They are following in Sony and Microsoft's footsteps and trying to make everything kind of universal and fit together and just kind of...
They're linking it to your Nintendo Network account as opposed to your...
console.
I think that's what they're moving towards.
Yeah.
They are adding... You were talking about some of the new features. The new features there are two main things. One, you can play it on the gamepad, and it has Miiverse compatibility. Yeah. So it's got its own chat. There might be stuff in-game that are connected to the Miiverse, sort of like all the other Wii games.
Well, this is what I think is going to happen a lot more at E3. Is I think I think the 3DS is going to start talking to the Wii U a little
Yeah.
bit more than
That's
it does right now.
Yeah.
So, aside from that, I guess we can move. Did anybody else have anything to throw in with that, or?
No, I'm good. I mean,
Mark is still here.
yeah, I'm still here.
Aside from that, let's move. That's
One
this.
thing I don't like about it though, I get like since they have to sort of build stuff like by putting it on the gamepad. Like they got to adjust the game a little bit to make it playable on the gamepad, and they also got to add the Miiverse stuff. It's almost like they're going to be re-releasing this stuff at various times. So like the entire Virtual Console library on the Wii is not going to be available on the Wii U right away.
That was the next thing, and that's kind of weird. Like, why isn't everything just
well,
like just isn't it just kind of flip a switch and everything's?
I don't know. It's like they're trying to redo what they like. The Virtual Console was big, I think, in 2006 and 7, like in the first year, year of the Wii.
That's when I had 26 Virtual Console games on my Wii.
Yeah, and it seems like they're just trying to regenerate that exact same feeling. So they're going to be like, oh, on March 17th, you can pick up, Castlevania 3 on the Virtual Console, and then like it's like its own video game release.
See, here's the weird thing with this, because it's, leave Steam aside, leaving PCs and Macs out of this, talking strictly home consoles.
Sure, just kick Mark completely out of the conversation.
This has never happened before. Nintendo's the first one to experience this. Sure, you had a premature version of Xbox Live and PSN on the PS2 and the original Xbox. You had very, very, basically in beta, comparative to what they have now. This is the first console that an electronics store has had to flip over. So we don't know how Sony and Microsoft are going to handle this.
Yeah.
So we have no basis for comparison. Maybe Nintendo's doing this the only way they can, or maybe they're doing it very poorly, or maybe they're doing it very well.
Yeah, maybe
we're not going to know.
Maybe Sony and Microsoft are going to take a lead from Nintendo and charge us to switch our stuff over.
We don't. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Nobody knows with any of this shit yet. Or maybe they're going to have a lot more fluid of a transition where, in my head, that's how I picture it, where PSN and Xbox Live are established, and it's literally just flipping a switch and everything's over.
I'd hope so.
I'll repay for my Trials Evolution.
I'll repay for every download that I have on my Xbox.
For the most part.
But we don't know for sure.
Yeah,
so
I know,
that's the weird thing. It's just like we don't know how any of these companies are going to handle it.
I guess as long as
nobody's ever done this. There's been new consoles, obviously, but never an entire ecosystem having to come along with you to your next
I
version.
guess as long as I don't have to pay full retail price or nowhere near it to get my downloads transferred over, I'd do it.
I would like them to do. I think Nintendo should take a page out of Microsoft's book too with their online. In that, like a game like Balloon Trip or something for the Nintendo, they should have like online leaderboards or something.
Yeah, something.
Those are easy to do.
Yeah,
I think Nintendo dropped the ball with without an achievement system of some sort.
Well, I think that's still coming, and maybe that's coming in this spring update because they said that's coming.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, this was said in like
Good
August,
for them.
but
they needed something. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
why
they said there'll be some type of.
I think Mario
Trophy
should
achievement
utilize
system.
some kind of coin system to kind of go with Mario. I think it'd be kind of cool, different variations of coins, and just be like, oh, this is a gold coin, a platinum coin, or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that would.
I think that'd
make sense.
I think that'd be perfect
Take
for
your
their type
take
of.
your franchise and use coins as the achievements.
But I think they could do a lot of stuff with with sales in the future and giveaways, and say this month's game we're giving away. Like I said, Balloon Trip. I keep coming back to this, but like it could be anything. Like,
He likes a Balloon Trip.
99 cents this download, and you get it for forever, and then you can have like online leaderboards and see how you do against all your
No,
friends.
definitely. Like leaderboards, they expand them. Like literally, like some of the reasons, certain games are even some of their cool features span upon leaderboards. Walking Dead with their leaderboards with the who chose what you did. You have Trials Evolution who does the times of each course. Me and my friend, I basically had two friends who bought Trials HD, and literally we just competed the entire game of trying to get the top scores. Like every few months, we go back and try to beat each other's scores. That was the whole point of the game. Leaderboards are still kind of cool.
Yep.
Very cool. And real quick before we get into the last two, the big ones, on behalf of all of us, I know today there's a lot going on in the background. We're actually getting ready for the Royal Rumble in a few minutes.
Yeah.
And we got guests coming over and people just kind of standing around waiting for us to kind of wrap the show.
cares?
I'm just letting everybody know we're well aware that there's a lot of background
And the
going on
hookers.
today.
The hookers are
Grandpa
here.
And the
wants-
hookers.
Grandpa wants to come on the podcast.
Grandpa, there's a lot going on. We're sorry about that
CM
today.
Punk.
Okay, guys? Yeah.
Oh God, no. Stop.
Stop naming people. He was one of the 20 I know.
Oh, okay.
We got a little bet if I can name 20 active wrestlers.
20 to 30.
I said I know about 20 or 30 active wrestlers. I don't know if that's true anymore.
We weren't
We'll see.
sure which wrestlers are still alive.
Oh,
I'm kidding.
I'm pretty sure we confirmed that Undertaker did die over the offseason.
But he is the dead man.
yeah, this is true.
All right, so we got 2 more to cover. I left them for last for you, my friend. And
Hello?
for you, calm down.
We're gonna watch the Royal
We're here
Rumble.
every week.
Jesus.
Every week.
Almost.
Let's start. I'm 2/3 of the way to my out of left field prediction coming true. By the way,
Mine already got spoiled.
yours came true.
No, mine already lost. Because mine was THQ gets bought by one company.
See, I
'Cause
thought
have no
I thought
idea.
3 Zeldas were going to get announced this
You
year,
did too.
and 2 already got announced. But we don't know at E3 if the handheld, because I said
better
the
be wrong,
handheld.
too.
I said the handheld was coming sooner. The Wii U would get announced, but it'd be in a distant future, and there'd be an HD remake.
I
I
said
am almost
Announced
there.
or released this year?
Which one?
Did you say they would be
said
announced
it was
this year?
announced.
No,
I believe.
I might be a little off. I think I said HD remake coming out this year.
yeah,
That's
Okay, I said 3DS
announced.
announced but coming out next year, 2014, and the new Zelda would get announced, teased for 2015.
I
said-
think there's a chance for a 3DS Zelda this year.
I said all 3 were getting announced this year before E3.
My prediction was
That was my out of left field
thing. Majora's Mask.
I think that's the one I assumed was coming.
and on 3DS, and then I'd buy a 3DS to play it.
So anyway, Wind Waker. This is one of the ones that I felt was like least in need of an HD treatment. I think Twilight Princess would be better suited to be upscaled to 1080p.
I disagree.
This game already looks good because it's in that like cartoony
Cell-shaded.
cell shaded. Whereas opposed to the other ones were just, I mean, they're kind of aging poorly, and you can't go much before Wind Waker because at that point you're losing the charm. I mean, yeah, you got Majora's Mask, but if you go before that,
But before that, it's just 2D games.
That's what I'm saying. You'd need complete
Remakes.
redoings because those don't need to be upscaled. They looked fine.
Zelda's one of the few franchises that has aged very well, I think.
Yeah.
Unlike games that have been remade in HD, this like PS1 and 64 games that got remade, like the Zelda games, like Ocarina of Time got remade for the 3DS. It was not really an HD remix, but it
It's
still
not
looks,
HD.
Yeah.
It looks a lot better.
Yeah, it looks a lot better than
it
it
looks
did.
a lot better. But like
Try playing Ocarina of Time on like a HD screen. Oh, like any N64 game. And
well,
have you played any N64 game on like an HD TV? Anything that I play on that just it washes out.
It's not their fault.
No, it's not
they
their
didn't have
fault.
the stretched out screens
No, yeah, that's
back
what I
then. So
mean.
even the screens are going to have blackouts on the side.
yeah, you still have that.
because
Yeah.
like
No, like any game I play on my N64 when I play looks far worse than when I did originally.
you
just
also
because
you
of
also
that.
got to go put it on a low def TV because
Yeah, I know,
these things. The problem with 1080 is gonna showcase imperfections even more. It's gonna like illuminate the imperfections.
I used to go back to play GoldenEye. I don't even want to play GoldenEye
GoldenEye
anymore.
looks like shit.
Yeah,
And it
that's what I
plays-
mean.
And it plays like shit. That is one of the best remembered games.
Best remembered,
that really isn't
worst
that good.
made game that I've. Yeah,
That try going back to that game. It is
No,
not
like that.
what
I
we
went
used
back-
to play back then.
I mean, I went back to play Banjo Kazooie. I mean, I went to roll back my N64 every once in a while, and like everything that I put on that screen, Pokemon Snap, everything turns out poorly just because it's a bigger resolution than it used to be.
Yeah.
I think the games got slightly upgraded resolution-wise for their the GameCube re-release for the collector's edition. It looks better if you play that game.
Are you talking about that one with Zelda 1, Zelda 2?
Where it's like all four.
Ocarina and Majora's Mask.
yeah.
Yeah, and
No,
then
Majora's Mask's not on it.
yeah, the collector's edition.
I know that one.
There's
It's
like
4 games.
Yeah,
They
Zelda
have-
And it had the promo for...
Because the only
Wind
thing,
Waker.
the only thing,
Okay,
that,
yeah, we're
the
talking
only
about
thing that
the
it
same
doesn't have is Link to the Past.
Yeah.
and Link's Awakening.
Well, console-wise,
Yeah,
Slap him. Do it.
what's wrong with Link's Awakening?
nothing. But it was a handheld.
yeah,
He's like, what the fuck's wrong with Link's
You say
Awakening?
that in such a derogatory way.
he's gonna throw his sunflower seeds at you.
I went through a whole bag of
Sunflowers.
Frito-Lay Good Fun sunflower seeds.
Good fun. They had to call him good fun.
2 for $1 or 59 cents each.
So what's everybody's opinion on the Wind Waker HD remake? Then?
I'm sort of in your view.
There was
of-
other ones that could have been upscaled, I think, before this.
I'll be honest with you. I think the new HD style of it doesn't look as good. It doesn't look as charming. Like I see it in HD.
I know a couple
also.
screenshots got released. I didn't really look too far into it because I was waiting for it to come out. and
Looks
be
like they
okay.
have like better shadows. That's what I've seen.
It's darker.
Yeah.
It's not that bright,
Yeah.
sunshiny color that that gave Wind Waker such a good feel. Like we were talking about the Nintendo Dolphin emulator last week, and watching Wind Waker and HD, and it looks awesome. I actually think that might look better. But
the other thing, I mean, if I remember correctly, I haven't played Wind Waker in years, but when you're out, it'd be cooler if they had different. What am I trying to say here? Not like fast travel kind of could be utilized a little bit better in that game if they're strictly going back to just upscale it, whatever. But if they actually wanted to go back, there's like a couple things I think that they could have tweaked.
Yeah, I think
so there wasn't so much just open.
It's one of the biggest complaints about that game. Some people, at least. Some people like it though.
Yeah.
They like the open world. Like you can imagine yourself as being that person. I guess. I mean, one of the things that they're probably going to add is that was one of the few GameCube games that actually had connectivity with the Game Boy Advance through the connector. Mm-hmm. You could connect and play the little tingle tuner thing. And you get
tingle!
Oh my god, I forgot all about that.
So people are saying that might be incorporated into a single player game now with the Game Boy.
With the tablet, yeah.
Yeah. So that's definitely a possibility. And but other than that, I don't think it's going to be any form of it's going to be remade. It's just going to be a upgrade, I should say.
Now,
I didn't mean it like that they were going to go in and like mess with the formula. I just meant a couple little things here and there that now looking back at it, what?
2003?
13, 14 years?
10.
10?
10.
I didn't know what year it came out. I was thinking like 2000, but
I have a question in regards to it. Do you think it's going to be a full retail release?
no. $20 maybe on the
Man,
the
Nintendo
Wii shop
wouldn't do
store.
that. $49.99.
You think so?
It won't be $59, I don't think, but $49.99.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
Oh, you think it's going to be that
Maybe
expensive?
$59.
I think they're gonna do a fancy little box and everything like what they did for the
Well, I thought it
Mario.
was going to be digital only. I didn't realize it was coming to disc.
Oh, it'll be a disc. I'm almost certain of that.
Oh, okay.
It'll be
I
like
was
the Halo
unaware.
anniversary.
Yeah, they'll do a fancy little box.
Yeah,
with
but
a
even
little
that thing
booklet or
sold for
something.
$20 less than normal games.
So it was $39.99?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's that. I don't see Nintendo doing that. Nintendo.
I just don't think
can sell
Nintendo
it
would
for
charge
full.
that as much as a regular game.
I think Nintendo
myself.
can though.
People will buy it. There's no doubt.
I don't think there's that like Halo Anniversary. If that was $59.99, I think a good portion of people would have been.
I still would've
forget
got
it.
it.
Forget
No,
it.
I
Let's
still
wait.
would've got
If you're a hardcore fan, you're still going to get it no matter what price, though.
Yeah. Plus, at that time, there was a major drought of Halo because I mean, Reach came out before that, but before that, it was just people were clamoring
Wars.
for people were clamoring for cheap.
ODST.
Yeah.
That's the
there,
problem. Nothing had come out since 06 with Halo 3. People wanted Chief back.
Yeah.
And
There's
you got
no
him in
Chief.
some form. So
Yeah, I guess before we move on from Wind Waker, I'm kind of disappointed that it was Wind Waker instead of like Majora. That would have been the next one in the like they re-released.
that's what I think would have been better
Ocarina.
suited, honestly.
I think they should have done Majora next.
Yeah, I think
And do them in order.
we were talking about this at Gen Game the other day, and they were saying, or at Zelda Dungeon, Caleb, the other webmaster, he was saying how he thinks that with Wind Waker, they're just experimenting with what type of graphical style to use for the next Zelda.
Yeah.
So they were just tossing a lot of ideas
Sure.
at the wall and see what's stuck, and then they like this idea of.
And it was probably pretty cheap for them to upscale it. And
So maybe they're just trying it for Wind Waker to gauge reaction,
Sure.
maybe, and see how it is. And,
especially since, well, I mean, also Wind Waker when it was revealed. I won't say announced. I'll say revealed. It stirred up quite a bit of controversy for the series at the time. So maybe they're just trying to, pull back some interest and get people talking about it again. Like, hey, look at this again.
It's also been a drought too. We didn't get a Zelda game in 2012, and if we didn't get a Zelda game in 2013, which was a possibility. Other than this would have been the first time there's more than a 2-year gap since before Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
There hadn't been a Zelda game.
Yeah.
So
Well, wasn't last gen a little rough? Because I mean,
we had
sure you had Skyward Sword, but I mean that whole you had Spirit Tracks and
we had
what's the other one on DS?
Twilight Princess
was 06, Phantom Hourglass was 07,
Phantom Hourglass.
Spirit Tracks was 09, and Skyward Sword was 11.
Okay, but if you're not a handheld gamer, like I'm rarely handheld. The Zelda, like most of the handhelds, I've skipped. I have played majority of the console ones, but it seems like I don't know. Like if you're in a position like me, it was even a longer drought at that point.
Yeah, well, I mean, Zelda is not. They're not.
They're not annual.
Nintendo
That's
is
what
not
keeps them
these-
good. It's good. I even some of my favorite franchises, they're coming out way too quick. It's like, dude, calm down a little bit.
I
Make
get
them a little
upset about
bit.
that.
Make the games better. Come out a little bit less frequently. You won't hit that franchise fatigue as quick.
With Zelda, as much as we like the console games, I think get more of the claim to fame, but they have more handheld games.
I know,
than
but I've
console
missed a
games.
bunch of those. Like I'm playing Spirit Tracks here and there. I keep picking it up and restarting because I keep forgetting what the hell's going on.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one I've been playing lately on my DS, and it's
Last handheld one that I played was Minish Cap. So it's been a while.
You didn't play Phantom Hourglass.
I played it, but I didn't play it. I
love
borrowed
that
it from
game.
I borrowed it from a buddy for a weekend. So didn't get crazy far into it.
If I may, the only last thing I wanted to bring up was the obviously the new Zelda title, but we could just kind of all tie it in. We could keep talking Wind Waker if you want. I just bring it all up together. That's the last thing I wanted to bring
The
up.
new Zelda game fits just with the same thing I said about Smash Brothers and Mario and Mario Kart. In that they didn't say anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not really. And it's just to tie Nintendo fans over, saying this is coming.
Yeah.
And they did say that they wanted to basically take it back to its roots a little bit, get rid of the non-linearity, get rid of the linearity, make it more non-linear. They said the same thing about Skyward Sword, and they said the same thing about it's something they've been
they've been stating, but they haven't really done it.
and they've also signaled that it might be a multiplayer game,
Yeah.
some sort of co-op play. I don't know how that will work.
Do you like that idea? I'll take that as a 60-40.
I'm in the fan. I think whatever Nintendo does, it'll end up working.
Yeah, I'm sure that they make great games. So I
I
won't
think
take that away from them.
if it was like a traditional multiplayer, it wouldn't work. But considering some of the very unique multiplayers that we've seen with a game like Journey coming out, where if you had another Link appeared and you guys worked together to achieve a goal or to accomplish a dungeon or something like that, that could be very unique in style. But just like a standard multiplayer wouldn't work with it. If they did something unique, which they are known for doing, then I can see it working. Kind of like how Four Swords Adventures, but like I said again, going a little bit more in that like Journey direction where you can't necessarily communicate with the other person or something like that would make it pretty unique.
Are you guys talking about multiplayer being thrown in Zelda?
Oh,
This is
yeah.
the worst idea ever.
I don't want to see
This is what
a
was
death
confirmed
match.
about Zelda Wii U.
This is the worst idea ever.
Yeah.
A death match or a team death match, I would not want to see.
Oh well, no.
Dude.
Yeah, I know you had said more about the co-op, but I mean, if they go further
The thing
on
is,
that,
there's been some aspects of multiplayer in Zelda, like in a way where, like, even in Majora's Mask, there was that one. I don't know if you remember. There was that one journey to get the Sun Mask, I think, where you played as Link and Cafe.
And you had to work
Go
together
back and forth.
Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks is another great example of how that the
Yeah,
multiplayer aspect.
You controlled Zelda as a Phantom, as well as Link
Yeah.
in Spirit Tracks, and that type of like that co-op puzzle solving.
Exactly, I think that
a lot of
could
fun.
work.
Could
yeah.
be unique.
Do one person and you can do it that way. I think it would work.
Do you think that's viable for a full game?
I think maybe not for a full game, but they can definitely craft some unique dungeons
Yeah, but how the fuck
to
do
do
you
it.
do, how do you do half a game in co-op?
It might be optional material.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then you're gonna have when you want to play single player, you're gonna have some dumbass AI following you around. That's the problem.
No.
That's the problem with Resident Evil.
I'm
You make
saying
it not
saying
even-
if you
you
went
can't even
into theoretically, if you
So you're
went
gonna
into
lock out parts of the game. That's what Little Big Planet does.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah,
I think
but
that's
it
an option.
ruins the experience because you're locking out parts that it's necessary to have a co-op partner. That's what pissed me off about Little Big Planet.
You either have to do it three ways, or they can reinvent the wheel here. But it's either got to be single player and then multiplayer, like a co-op, and you can't merge them.
If you do two separate missions, that's a totally different story. You're right.
Well, that's what I'm referring to.
Yeah.
Or it's got to be with some artificial intelligence.
I thought you were talking
sidekick.
about you go through your single player campaign. There's literally parts locked out unless you're in co-op.
Well, that is
that's
what I
how.
meant.
Little,
I mean that could be
see,
theoretically.
See, if they did two separate campaigns, like what they did in Halo, where there's the campaign and then Spartan Ops, and say that Spartan Ops is Zelda's equivalent to a shorter 4 or 5 hour co-op campaign, and then you go into the campaign, which is a solo 30, 40, 50 hour Zelda game, and that's fine. Great, do that.
They've even done this in Zelda to a very, very minor extent. In Four Swords Adventures, we talked about if you get to, I think it's the 7th level, the 7th world, the levels are actually arranged differently whether you are playing one player or two.
So that's
four
cool
players.
too because it'll change its scope to the amount. Of players.
And I think that could definitely be an option. And like I was saying, is have an option of doing your single player campaign, or you can have it modify and kind of upscale the dungeons and some of the puzzles and stuff for another player to be able to play it with you.
Well, that wouldn't be too far of a stretch because I know a lot of games, like even Borderlands.
Yeah.
The more people that jump in, the harder the enemies become. The engine adjusts.
Yeah.
to the
Same thing
amount
with
of-
Diablo 3.
Yeah.
Does the same
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
The more people that are in.
Take what you were saying. If you went into a certain dungeon and it had where you had to maneuver two characters, like
They would
Majora,
rebuild the dungeon.
yeah, do like that exactly, and then have it flip where you could do two players. Up.
Get that phone, put it on
Really?
vibrate.
Really?
Damn it, Tony, come on. We're recording a podcast.
We can't close out the show without it. He's got to say
What are we
the.
going to do? What does he usually say? What does he usually say? I don't know
All
how to
right,
close
start it
out.
over. We're re-recording from the top.
Damn it!
This is episode
Hello
51.
and welcome once again to the Forward Compatible. No, go ahead.
I've had to re-record in quite a bit, so I'm okay with that.
What about if they tried to pull like a Dead Space 3 thing, where it's like if you're running a single player, your partner is an AI in the story, but if you do like the co-op, he's next to you and the puzzle's like, I don't know how much.
Yeah, that's
But isn't that kind of like how Resident Evil works? Because Resident Evil, when you're stuck with one of the,
No, you're not stuck with. If you're doing single player, all he is, it's like.
he's just some random
if you
dude.
played the demo, you'll actually see two different views. There's like one part you'll walk into an open area, and you and your partner will be talking to each other. If you don't have him there and you're doing single player, he's in a movie scene up on the top telling you like where
Okay.
you gotta go. In the
Yeah.
story.
If the mic's not picking him up, he's we're actually having an idea from the way Dead Space 3 is going to be handling it. Where I guess if you're in co-op, the guy jumps in. If you guys haven't seen this with Dave, what the hell? is his name?
Isaac and Carver.
Carver, yeah.
Carver. And I guess if you're running single player, Carver's going to be just kind of off to the side.
He's
He's in the
there.
cutscenes.
Yeah, he's in the cutscenes.
Yeah,
he
he's there,
interacts
but
with
he's,
you.
like, in the background.
He's telling you
Okay.
what to do.
But then if you're in co-op, then he'll be there alongside.
Yeah, he'll be fighting
So
with
And
you.
then it's like there are
that'd be
parts-
another interesting way to
It,
bring.
just, it expands the
There's like other
game.
parts too. It's like you got to turn like two things to get like a drill free. In single player, you can do them on your own. If you got both of you, you both have to do it simultaneously.
Yeah. Well, we'll see
You
what
got
they
to
do.
close out the show.
Are we done?
Just about.
Another
No,
beer.
no, this is the point
I'm
where
sitting
Tony,
here drinking, enjoying.
where Tony's like, so you guys have anything else to add to
Yeah.
the overall topic?
So we're gonna wrap it up. Bring it
I'll
home.
just wrap
Well,
it
no,
up.
I have something to add.
Oh, by all
I was
means.
trying to trigger my own.
By all means, go ahead.
I think this Nintendo Direct was huge for Nintendo fans, but judging by Mark's lack of reaction, it does nothing. There's no new IPs. Every single game was announced as a sequel.
Well,
That's the thing with that. We should bring that up too. That guy came out and everybody was giving him shit about it.
who?
I don't know his name. Some dude came out and he said that this was just like he was really anti-Nintendo about
So
this
it
whole thing.
was like it was a
Oh,
publicity
Tom
stunt?
McShay from GameSpot.
There you go. And he came out and he's like, I kind of got what he was saying too. He's like, all this is. He's like, go ahead and say your thing. I kind of want to look up his.
Oh, is
speech
it that
real quick.
article that came out? I think it was GameSpot.
What's his name?
GameSpot. That
Tom
article
McShay.
came out where it's like Nintendo something. I looked at. I didn't even open it. I was like, okay, you're stupid.
No, because
Basically,
there's this.
Nintendo doesn't know what they're doing.
There's this
Well,
one
GameSpot's-
quote. There's this one quote at the very end that I actually kind of wanted to.
Okay, well, GameSpot's got this like article that came out like a few days ago. It seemed anti-Nintendo, so I didn't even read it. But literally, he was saying how Nintendo is rolling down a hill or something like that. I don't agree with it. I didn't even read it though, so I'm not very much want to talk about it.
For me, somebody who does not have a Wii U and was kind of waiting, and I know I even joked on the podcast that the second that they announced Zelda, that I'm going to go out and buy one. Which is also available.
You need to build up to $20 a week, until
which
it
is
comes out.
also available for pre-order at GameStop now.
Of course, it is.
Yeah. With them
It
announcing
is. I went in there to mine. It's like with the pre-order.
with the
know Wii
with
U.
the announcement of the titles, which we knew were coming, but it's kind of a confirmation. And like Mas was saying, is Nintendo doesn't come out and say, "Hey, we're going to put these games out. They're going to be out in 3 years." They won't announce them. They won't talk about them. They won't show you anything about them until they're well on their way a little bit. So they're theoretically within the next year or so. So for me, that brings interest to the console. Where I will by the time the Wind Waker comes out, I'll buy the console. That will pull me in. They announced all the titles that I was waiting for them to announce. You know?
I'm a little concerned with nothing new, but I just figured this is just not the time for it.
Sure.
Because if you announced a brand new IP,
that's what E3 is for. Is for announcing your new IPs.
Where's my
like
Pikmin?
That.
Well, that's coming out in May.
I know.
That's
my favorite series.
When you have the entire audience's attention is when you showcase your new stuff, but when you just need to kind of reaffirm to people, hey, we are working on this stuff. That's what these little directs are for. Right. And people who kind of have their ear to Nintendo and are paying attention to what they're doing but may not be on board with them yet, it's going to definitely at least sway them a little bit and kind of give them a little bit of hope, the light at the end of the tunnel that they're coming. So that for me, I don't know about Tony because I know he's still kind of on the fence about it.
No, I'm totally getting one. I'm just waiting for it to be a little cheaper and more games I
Sure.
can. Right now, I've said this. I can't justify spending $500 after it's all said and done on Mario.
Yeah.
That's all. I don't care about any of that or shit because I have it on the 360 or the PS3.
Exactly.
I can't spend $500 on one Mario game.
I buy Nintendo for first party stuff. That's why I play Nintendo games because I love their first party content. So for me, with them announcing a new 3D Mario Kart, and Zelda, and at least saying, hey, we're still working on Smash Brothers, those are all the games that I buy from them. So that's obviously going to sway me.
I'll buy your Pikmin and I'll stay at your house for days on end playing it.
As for Dude, here's the two lines that I actually wanted that I kind of sort of agreed with what he said after just talking bullshit for 4 paragraphs. He said, excitement is a difficult property to bottle. Okay? Nintendo has briefly conjured interest in the Wii U after it had been collecting dust in the months since release, but it's done so by courting the very people who have already made up their minds about the system, which is true. He's getting people who already bought the Wii U or are saving up for the Wii U. Those are the people that Nintendo got excited with this, which is not the people you should be going after. You have their money or you're getting their monny.
That's
You're
exactly
supposed
what we just said for the last 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I was just bringing up the quote. I've been looking for it for fucking...
It's all sequels. It's all new, and some sequels weren't even announced. Like, I think we're probably going to get Metroid Prime 4 announced by Retro Studios.
Well, I'm sure they're saving some things for E3. Yeah, I don't think they like totally.
I know GDC's expecting quite a few announcements out of it too, as well.
Really?
Yeah.
I think we'll see.
GDC's starting to ramp up as like the second big.
I thought PAX was bigger than GDC.
Well,
They're competing with each other right now. GDC is coming up because originally it started off as just the developers, and over the years, more and more users are starting to actually pick up and watch GDC. So as years are going on, they're starting to release more stuff.
A lot of these companies are starting to drop out of this shit because it costs so much to go to GDC, to go to Gamescom, to go to PAX, to go.
It's $1 million for the smallest amount of square at the GDC.
To me, it just seems smarter to utilize these things like what Nintendo did and what PlayStation Destination's doing in a couple more weeks. It's just it's cheaper. It's cheaper, and you get the spotlight that whole day. Yeah. You're not fighting with 100 games getting released, new hardware coming out like you're at E3. You're fighting everybody.
Well, they have to schedule the crap out of E3 every year.
You mean taking Apple's approach and just going to hell with all these big things? We're going to do them ourselves.
Yeah. Well, Nintendo used to do that with Space World back in the day, and it looks like they're going.
Geez, there hasn't been one. How long now?
Space World? I don't know, 02?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Apple hasn't been to CES in 5 years because there's no fucking reason.
Was CES like this up last weekend, two weekends ago?
Apple hasn't shown up in forever because they just hold their own press conferences.
What happened at CES
It's
this year?
clearly the way to...
Is that it? I literally don't think I heard anything out of CES this year.
Well, TVs and the Shield thing.
I did hear an article.
And the Steam box, not Steam box.
Okay, then yeah. I did hear a little bit about CES, but it wasn't a big year, I guess.
The last thing I'd just like to say about Nintendo is they're really gearing towards late this year. They've got like Rayman comes out next month. It's a little exclusive.
I can't wait for
They've got Pikmin coming out.
Rayman I'd buy.
They've got a few key games coming out in the next few months, but they're really competing for that competition. And this guy, while he said this is temporarily stuff, it's not exactly temporary because come next September when the next Mario releases, there will be hype in that month before it, and it will garner a month after it.
Nintendo's not stupid. They know it's coming this fall, and of course they're gonna hold some cards back for this. This is like one of the most exciting years I can remember in video gaming.
Definitely, I
period.
agree.
There's whether or not
there's so much rumor,
whether or not the
there's so much.
720 or the PS4 make the launch. Maybe they launch in February. Maybe they miss the deadline. The point is, this next 12 to 18 months is just
It's exciting.
It's
you
ridiculous.
Have something
So-
like even with the Wii U, I mean, it's still something. It's brand new coming out. It's new tech, and that is
And
always.
although the consoles aren't going to completely catch up PC, they're going to really, really narrow the gap, forcing PC to push even further. No.
Look at the new graphics cards and the new CPUs that came out. They're already a big step ahead of consoles.
Really quick,
just
so-
because
so
I know this.
We don't get too far off of what we were originally talking about. It's a smart business decision for Nintendo to come out in January and start pushing their stuff, knowing that at E3 and beyond, you're going to have Sony and Microsoft maybe not releasing, like you said, but at least announcing and start the hype.
All the
machines
hype is coming in.
for these. So it's really smart for them to take that advantage. They got the jump on releasing their console early.
Nintendo's been doing this a long time.
Exactly.
They know
So
what's
it's
going on.
smart for them to come out and go, hey, look at we're working on our big franchises. Here's when we're going to show them to you. So like as to where I would probably skim the Nintendo press conference to just see if there's a big Zelda release at E3. Now I'll actually watch it because they've said we're going to show you these, and these here also. So
I'm between all this. I'm personally getting a lot closer to when I am going to bite on the Wii U because now you got the 3D Mario. The 3D Mario.
Damn it! We were trying to hold off for
Because I got the three things I wanted most, which is Smash Brothers and the 3D Mario game. Because the new Super Mario Brothers Wii U thing didn't. I haven't been in the 2D ones in a while. I'm looking for that
2.5.
Galaxy, whatever it is that is coming out in that. And it's actually the same studio that made Galaxy 1 and 2 is the one that's announced in this one. That's the Mario I want. And then you got Smash Brothers and, of course, the new Zelda. And by then, the new Super Mario Brothers Wii U will be pre-owned for $30 or $40, so I'll pick that up. And now I have 4 or 5 games I actually give a shit about.
Yeah, I'm looking at this holiday, and I'm thinking September maybe they toss out a Mario Kart. November they toss out Wind Waker HD. Early December, or even another game in November, they toss out a Metroid Prime 4. Mm-hmm. Maybe they toss in a Mario, and then on the 3DS side they got a new Pokemon. Like they've got their guns ready, lined up, ready for war.
No.
I don't, it'll steal some fire, I guess.
Aside from that, anybody else got anything they want to throw in?
Let's rumble.
Yeah.
Let's get the Royal Rumble going. This has been episode 51. Thanks for tuning in. Catch us next week, same time, same place.
We're stone cold.
You are completely pathetic. You can start begging for some mercy right now because you ain't got what it takes to stay in the ring with Stone Cold Steve Austin from bell to bell. Why can't I be like Stone Cold? Because people like you make me sick. beg for mercy. And that's the bottom line, 'cause Stone Cold said so.